A few months later, yet again. I mean, at least I guess there's a good amount of time in between these murders. Ooh. Oh, I don't like the whistling. It's giving killer frequency. Oh, Clara! I was about to say, it's giving killer frequency vibes. Bro, don't you dare touch Claire. We already lost Alina. If Clara dies, I will go feral. So there was a murder at the hotel Clara works at. Ooh. I don't know what it is about the whistling, but it's so creepy. Like I said, it feels like the killer from Killer Frequency. The Crucible! Oh my god. The movie with Winona Ryder. Hey, Vincent! A visibly frustrated Vincent Florer enters the bar and sits down with a grumble. In his anger, he slams down the newspaper he was carrying. Oh gosh, it's been a whole week since we played this. I gotta remember the voices I did for everybody. Excuse me, apologies in advance for your ears. Alright, here we go. The whole country has gone to the dogs, I tell you. Dead politicians in hotel rooms and burnt bodies at the steel mill. Politicians? Oh. Are we gonna get into some corrupt politician shenanigans? The peaceful sorrow of my youth continues to crumble day by day. This sort of thing never happened back then. How many more of these tragedies must occur before the government comes to its senses and closes the damn borders? Common sense must prevail. What happened? What has happened to my beautiful city? We are doomed to slide further into anarchy as cultures best kept separate are forced into a damned melting pot. Okay, you don't need to go into a whole, like, anti-immigrant spiel here. The decency and manners of sovereign culture are being diluted, washed away by a wave of crime, depravity, and moral relativism. Vincent seems too dejected to engage in conversation. You decide to look at the paper instead. The headline jumps out at you. Ooh, double murder. Today, police release a statement regarding the discovery of 2 bodies in the capital city of Bukovi. Ooh. So someone at the hotel, and then the person at the... he said a steel mill was... the second one, I guess. Ooh. Gangster Roddy Gelvin escapes police custody. Ooh. Ooh, wait, hold up. No, I want to read this. Late Monday night, 42-year-old Roderick Gelvin managed to escape police custody with the help of several associates. Gelvin is a former lieutenant of mob boss King and current ringleader of the notorious Brugga Boys gang operating on Bukovi's east side. Gelvin has been arrested for battery and assault and is both armed and dangerous. Y'all know what I'm gonna say. I need my boy Peter to come back. New arrest and made in Piata de Vite burglary case. Culprits behind the string of burglaries. Okay, so Peter wasn't arrested. He just for some reason wasn't around at all for the previous case. You know, I'm not totally super upset and devastated at all. Except like a lot. The body of Petru Lombardo, Bukovi's treasurer, was found in his room at Hotel Jubilee, still referred to by locals as Grundown Heights Red? Okay. After police received a tip from a member of staff, the autopsy confirms that Mr. Lombardo passed away around 11 p.m. on Friday night due to severe blood loss resulting from blunt force trauma. Early Monday morning, roughly 7 hours after the discovery of the body at the hotel, police received another call about a body found at Bukovi's steel mill. So it does seem like that I mean, there's, you know, potentially some misdirection shenanigan type things going on, but I mean, the whistly dude with the trench coat and the hat, it seems like he probably did both. So this is like, this is the penultimate case for the game. This is 4 out of 5. So we ramping it up here with a double body count. Anyway. An employee clocking in for the early shift discovered the burnt remains of an unidentified male in one of the furnaces and alerted the police. Due to the severity of the burns, identification was no longer possible. This is the 1920s. I want to say DNA testing wasn't available until like the 80s. I don't even know if they had fingerprinting yet for crimes around this time. They might have. I don't know. I just know DNA was like a long ways off. So, you know, we got that working for us. Early investigations have turned up one suspect who is believed to be involved with both deaths. Police have already apprehended and interviewed the potential culprit. The 30-year-old Scotian immigrant... Oh! Wait, no! Not our baby boy, Bjorn. Wait a minute. The 37-year-old Scotian immigrant, an employee at the steel mill... That's right, he is a metal worker. Was seen speaking with Petru Lombardo at the party at Hotel Jubilee on the night of the murder. No! Is Bjorn being framed? The suspect has since left police custody after their bail was paid, though they're forbidden from leaving the city for the time being and must answer any and all summons by investigators. Is this about Bjorn? Of course, terrifying, isn't it? How many more violent ruffians are clamoring into our country while we are distracted by the sort of... Vincent, I'm pretty sure we had to talk about this in the last case, where you need to, like, stop being such a shithead towards immigrants. Bjorn is a good boy. He's a good noodle. Oh. Clearly, Scotia is filled with thuggish brutes that see it fit to solve their disputes with violence and bloodshed. This Bjorn is one of the thousands opportunists who would use our bleeding-hearted nature to take root here, bringing their ghoulish ways with them. So, Bjorn is out on bail. So we might actually... Ooh, yeah, we're probably gonna see him. I thought you liked Bjorn. Once again, unscrupulous individuals took advantage of my gentle and fair nature. No more! I will be more cautious of foreigners from this point forward. Bro, you seem convinced Bjorn is guilty. It's hard not to be when investigators have such damning evidence. Did you read the article? Two people seen together, one later dies. That's not exactly, you know, like... real convincing evidence. Do you think Bjorn is capable of murder? All the evidence points towards the fact. Look at the size of the man, his capacity for violence, and he hid it well under that gentle giant act. Bjorn fooled us all. The old mantra of innocent until proven guilty looks nice on paper, but in obvious cases like this, it's best to make an example of the culprit and just get it over with. Someone has to send a message that the good people of Sara have had enough. An example for who exactly? You've never seen this expression on Vincent's face. More like a snarl than a frown. He can barely keep himself in check. Something has been eating away at him, and now it is all coming out. Anyone who believes they have the right to come into my country and disregard the laws and customs of my land. Vincent, I'm really starting to like you less, my guy. I don't like this sight of you. Vincent's eyes meet yours, and for a long time the tension in the room remains high. Maintain eye contact. You see Vincent stifle an outburst. His eyes like thunder, he slowly exhales. Just stare him down. Perhaps he realizes you are not the right target for his ire. His expression briefly softens before he breaks eye contact and wordlessly leaves the bar. Well. Lucas! Oh, my favorite gay! Oh my god. Oh. Jesus Christ. I feel like the saying careful what you wish for really applies here, because both Lucas and Bjorn have barely lightly, if at all, been involved in the past couple cases, and now we got one that focuses on Bjorn. And I was like, I wonder if, you know, eventually they're going to be more involved with the case at some point. Whoops, my bad. A visibly disturbed Lucas enters the speakeasy. Rather than sitting down at his usual spot, he immediately approaches the bar, his forehead covered in sweat and his eyes wide. Bartender, I need your help. Oh, it's not me who needs it, it's Bjorn. You have to help him, he's innocent. Take it easy, Lucas. How could I be calm when Bjorn is treated like a murderer? No one is listening to me. Oh, thank fuck he is standing by his man. Let's see. Just take a breath. I hope you could put your skills in use to help him. I just don't know what else to do anymore. Would a drink help? No, not at the moment. Not when Bjorn's freedom's on the line. I've noticed you and Detective Mertens working together, you know. I know he trusts you. You've been working cases with him since I first came here. And I've seen you help Elena Ernest investigate, too. Sure enough, during both cases, Hugo figured out what was really happening, but I know better than to believe he did that all by himself. All I ask is that you get Hugo to hear us out. Everything about this investigation is moving so fast. If you could just slow things down a bit, it'd buy us more time to find the truth. We don't have any proof yet, but we just know there's something fishy going on. The media, the constabulary, they were all so quick to pin this on Bjorn. They jumped on him right away. The evidence was thrown together, the arguments weak and hasty. They're rushing to a conclusion, the wrong one. We have to prove them wrong. I believe in Bjorn. Yes! Exactly, he was with me the entire night at the party. How could he have murdered anyone? But the media and investigators refused to listen to me. I'm glad you have opened up to my pleas. Bjorn is not a violent man. I'm glad you see it too. So please, I don't know what else to do. Who else to turn to? I'll talk to Hugo and sort this out. You will? Oh, thank the goddess. I'll go see Bjorn right away and tell him the good news. How's our baby boy holding up? Not great. I paid his bail, but when they opened his cell, he barely looked at me. I thought maybe he would be happy to see me or relieved. He just seems numb, beaten. He keeps telling me he will be ground down in the machine. I don't know what he means exactly, but he is morose, thoroughly gloomy. Your support is the only good news we have had. Maybe telling him you are on the case will help, though I think getting out and having a drink to settle his nerves would be beneficial too. Okay, so we are at 50% of it. Oh my god, everybody's coming to see me. Hey, Sandra! Our tutorial character, great. Sandra Fisher descends the staircase once more. You haven't seen her for a while. That's right, she kind of does this thing the past couple cases. So I'm pretty sure she's kind of like the tutorial-esque character to maybe kind of like come in and introduce some new mechanics or advice, maybe. Haven't seen her for a while. She looks around the bar, then approaches you with a serene smile. Welcome back, Sandra. This place is buzzing, yes. With, I think, like, 2 whole people. There's Miss Feng Bei and somebody I didn't see over this way. Every time I come here, I think maybe it'll be quiet or gone, and you'll have moved on. I'm always glad to be wrong. This place smells nice, too. Sandalwood or cinnamon? Most speakeasies just smell like spilled beer. This place smells like... well, it smells like someone cares what it smells like, if that makes sense. How have you been? Things are looking up. Kind of. I'm glad to hear it. I always found I make better drinks when I was in a good mood. People often underestimate how their mood can affect their whole day. I trust you've noticed this when talking to your customers? Yes. They can have their mood soured in the morning, then carry that with them the whole day. But in the evening, slipping them that favorite drink can turn their whole perspective around. Did you know the opposite can also be true? The opposite? People think denying their feelings and putting on a happy face will make their problems disappear. As a good bartender, you sometimes need to break through that facade to get them to open up. You have to make people want to rant a little to get it off their chest. Ooh. So last time she taught us that sometimes we shouldn't get people full-on drunk, just a little tipsy, kind of somewhere in between. Now she is telling us that sometimes we might need to get people in a bad mood, I think. Ooh. Consider me interested. How do I go about that then? I think the only way I know of is to make a bad drink, which I've never done before. Ooh, that might hurt me a little bit. I think occasionally also bringing up like some evidence or topics of conversation that they don't like, but again, that's a little hit or miss. Back when I was tending bar, I might have occasionally filled my shaker with a few wrong ingredients to ruin the flavor on purpose. The bad drink shook them out of their reverie, often opening the door for deeper insights. Helping them to spill their guts brought them relief. Being a good bartender is about more than pouring drinks, you know. It's about listening, too. The information was sometimes useful, sometimes just interesting, but sharing always made them feel better. What did you do with this information? I improved the drink they received next time to ensure it was unforgettable. Flavors perfectly tailored to their taste that would just not be possible without them opening up to me about their life. Interesting. Hey, we all have to experience bad days sometimes. I have to force a bad mood on people. That feels ooh. Or the good days will lose all meaning. Part of being alive is to be able to experience all feelings, good and bad. You've given this a lot of thought. I have a lot of time to think, though I must say it's a lot more fun being able to share these musings with a fellow bartender. On the topic of thoughts, have you heard the recent news about the double murder? It's been on my mind. It's hard to avoid. A strange case, don't you think? 2 murders in 2 completely different places, yet the investigators have pinned them both on a single man? Oh, damn. And you know Bjorn, right? As do I, a little bit, so it must be difficult for you too. Is he really a criminal? I think the developers needed to have just one more pass through the subtitles. It's fine. Or just a man wrongfully accused. Do you think the constabulary is onto something? I'm still probably pronouncing that word wrong. Or do you believe he's innocent? Bjorn would never kill someone. It's noble of you to have faith in one of your patrons, but don't let your affection for him blind you, of course. Have you ever considered the idea you might be serving drinks to a criminal? I mean, I've served a lot of criminals. Technically, everybody in here is a criminal. One of my first customers was a loan shark's debt collector. I've heard about these loan sharks and their henchmen. Terrible how the bank's greed pushes vulnerable people into the laps of those ready to exploit them. Never forget your job as a bartender. Serving customers drinks and providing an ear to their troubles should be your primary concern. Stick to tending the bar. I'll try. Now then, looks like I can't delay the inevitable any longer. Oh? I have to leave Bukovia again for work. Headed to a different country, actually, and my destination requires the use of these new flight machines. I could really use some liquid courage before I go, if you catch my drift. What's your poison? I could go for something simple, maybe with a nice dark rum. Okay. Did we ever find out her favorite drink? I don't know if we did. We didn't. If. Something with rum. Something with dark rum. Perfect Storm? We got white rum. The Ambush has dark rum. Let's maybe go with the Perfect Storm. Sure. La 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 la. This girl's a little difficult to pin down because we only see her like once per case. So we don't get a lot of opportunities to try to figure out her favorite drink. Eek. Bitter, a little sweet, fresh. Damn it. I don't think I could mix something this good. Did we figure it out? Wish me luck, bartender. Keep an eye out for me in the papers. If you see any reports of a crashed vehicle, well, consider this place to have one less customer. Let's hope it doesn't come to that. Oh boy. Oh! Oh, the priest is back! Have we? We haven't seen him since the first case. That's right. So, and since we played as a different character in the first case, oh, we're starting from square one here in terms of affection. A miserable priest sits down at the bar. Despite not having served him, you can smell a strong scent of alcohol from him. Excuse me, father. Are you lost? The odds of the goddess I am. But when it comes to my selfish, personal desires, a speakeasy serving alcohol is very much my intended destination. I see. I believe we haven't been acquainted yet. I am Father Lacey, but please, just call me John. The title of father rather feels like an ill-fitting jacket on me. Oh, what about Daddy? No. Nice to meet you, John. Now that we have disposed of the pleasantries, let's move on to the real reason I'm here. Libations. Right. With everything going on, I require something strong to get me through the week. What sort of flavor do you like? Flavor? Who drinks alcohol for the flavor? Just strong then, right. He wants something to drown his sorrows. I do remember this. Okay. Again, shouldn't go for the royal flush. We gotta be smart here. Just because they say, hey, I want something strong, that doesn't mean we should just immediately go for that. Because if it is too strong, then they will immediately go home. I don't remember what his favorite was last time. I'm not entirely sure we have it, though. Maybe the copper bullet? If I remember correctly, I think that was on the menu in the first case. But he says he doesn't care about flavor. But also something strong. The copper bullet is the strongest we can get without hitting his limit, basically. So let's go for that. All these unorthodox flavors are wasted on me, I'm afraid. Still, I'll down it all the same. Should have followed my gut. F. With everything going on, I require something strong to get me through the week. Okay, cool. We have 4 actions. Let's see what clues we do have for now. We have the double homicide and Bjorn's alibi question mark. Lucas claims that Bjorn was at the party with Petru, but was with him the whole evening. This could be a solid alibi for Bjorn. Who else was at this party that could confirm Lucas's story? This is true, because I suppose technically in theory, because Bjorn and Lucas are involved, Lucas could hypothetically be lying to him. I don't believe for a second that's what's going on, but I guess, you know, in theory. Hey, Father, were you at this party? I don't know anything about that. Please, for the goddess's sake, leave me out of all this. Oh, yeah, okay. You seem a little down. How's your day been? Disastrous. It all started at breakfast. My toast was burnt. My eggs were overcooked. It was terrible. What happened? I was hungry and the pantry was bare, so I ventured out to buy my favorite breakfast treat, blueberries from Mrs. Timpson's market stall. Good plan. However, I've been suffering a somewhat serious malady this past month. I have a spectacularly painful toothache. I asked my barber to excise it, but he recently injured his hand while fishing, and as a result he's not working right now. Anyway, I treated my tooth the same way as always. A healthy dose of lidocaine from my local apothecary. It numbs the pain right away, but I fear I misjudged the dosage and numbed most of my face. I hadn't spoke to anyone that morning until I was standing in front of Mrs. Timpson with my basket full of blueberries. When I reached for my wallet, an impatient old woman behind me in the queue nudged me, and I spilled my blueberries, a full punnet, all on the floor. Mrs. Timpson has a lovely stall with tiles in front of the till, so when I drop the blueberries, they roll like miniature footballs, scattering to every corner of the market. I presume, because I think this is in, like, alternate universe UK, football is in, like, what we, heathen Americans would call soccer. The strangers behind me cast judgmental glances, but when I tried to apologize, my palsied face interfered with my speech badly. What'd you say? I believe my apology sounded somewhat like, I am so sorry, I dropped my blueberries on the floor. Oh dear. Indeed, and I can tell you, the judgmental glances of my fellow customers changed quickly from frustration to sympathy. I believe the old lady nearby with the purple cardigan whispered something like, we must all help this poor lost fellow. I believe he has no carer to look after him. It sounds very embarrassing. Perhaps, though, in truth, if they had considered me to be of reduced mental faculties, their response was kind. Kinder than if I was simply a tired, hungry klutz with poor dental care. What happened to your tooth? I received emergency treatment from a member of the congregation. Do they not have dentists in the 1920s? Is that not a thing yet? Because he mentioned getting help from his barber. Jesus. Though I am loath to admit it, they do care about me when I suffer misfortune. Agatha may have retired from dentistry 30 years prior. Okay, they do have dentists. But she still yanked it out my head with minimal fuss. I'm glad you got help. Yes, well, the pain was passing and temporary, unlike the rest of the suffering in my life. In a way, severe bodily pain is transient, so I can bear. It's the pain of people I struggle with. But regardless of where the pain comes from, alcohol always helps, and having a caring congregation can get a silly old priest out of bother. Thanks for listening to my woes, bartender. Cheers. Okay. Well, can you tell me what people confess? What? No, that would be a complete betrayal of trust, and it would go against the teachings of the goddess. It would undermine my faith and endanger my very soul. Such a thing is unthinkable. It's wrong of me to ask. By the goddess, if I were ever to start sharing confessions, I would never stop. Why? He did by accident. In the first case, I think he blabbed on something for Olivia. Because the complaints of my flock are endless. You cannot comprehend the depths of these people's capacity for self-sabotage, complicity, jealousy, carnal perversion, and unrestrained vice. And they complain constantly. Do I not have reason to complain too? Of course I do. And yet you don't hear me whining about my misfortune, burdening any willing listener with my woes. That's true. I mean, I'm not gonna say it. I try my best to stay cheerful and light of heart, but these people... What's so bad about them? It is more than my job. It is my life's purpose, and I endure it. You would not believe the things my flock shares with me. Try me. Well, let's keep this purely hypothetical to maintain anonymity. Imagine a man struggling with feelings of depression and purposelessness, and he is a farmer. He gets to spend all his time alone in nature, and he has so many carrots. As many carrots as he could eat. Dude likes carrots, apparently. How could anyone in that situation be unhappy? Anyone can have those feelings. Well, Mr. Gregory not only has the... Bro. Mr. Gregory not only has the benefits of peace and quiet on his farm and the pleasure of unlimited root vegetables, but he also has a brand new barn, a glorious red building with livestock. He charges fresh butter every morning. Maybe you should lay off the juice. Farm work is hard work. Yes, but it is quiet. I assume so, at least. Perhaps the cockerel crows or the cow moos, but I would guess it is easy enough to ignore those noises after a while. The congregation can never be silenced. Are you sure you're in the right job? I have said this many times. It is not a job, it is a calling. It is not supposed to be easy. If I enjoyed listening to people's problems, I would have an ulterior motive. As it stands, it's clear the only reason I tolerate this misery is my devotion to the goddess and her children. Well, I don't think the goddess wants you to suffer. There is no surer path to misery than to fight against your own nature. I know that the goddess put me where I am for a higher purpose. I reserve the right to resent my role, but I'll still do it. The people need me, and whether I like it or not, and I do not, it is my duty to serve them. It's noble. It is what it is. Now, do you want to know more about more confessions, or have you had enough? Spill, bestie! Well, how could I forget the lady who asked me for advice on the afterlife? Ooh, this dude's as gossipy as Olivia. What did she ask? She asked me if Paradiso was real. She wanted to know if her grandmother had descended to the holy stream of life and rejoined the goddess, or if she had been pulled into the endless starry void of Oblivio to suffer under the dark lady Obscenium. I admit I don't know that much about theology. I know a little more than you, and even I don't know what I was supposed to say. Reassure her? It is not my place to offer reassurance. I am a guardian of faith, and I knew her grandmother, frightful woman. She once kicked away an old man's cane when he tried to buy the last tomato at the market. I hardly think she is with the goddess now. The eternal embrace of the mother is hardly the place for a fruit thief. Oh. Okay, now we got to debate about tomatoes being fruits versus vegetables. Listen, I've had this conversation with Kat, my Stardew buddy who is a biochem major in college. She is a hell of a lot smarter than I am. She has explained it like the Princess Bride, you know, like whatever it was, the poison, like it's in both cups, you know, whatever. I'm sure she can explain it a lot better than I can, but like I'm still gonna call it a vegetable, damn it. Are you being serious? Of course not. I am sure her grandmother is in a better place, wherever that may be. Of course, that is what I told her. I know this is my job. I know what I signed up for. But it's all just exhausting. I need support, encouragement, or to be put out of my misery. Please, give me a reason to keep going. Oh. I think probably the result he would want to hear is this one. It's supposed to be hard. The harder it is, the more you're helping. Yes, perhaps you are right. In fact, I am sure of it. All truly good advice tells you exactly what you don't want to hear. Dang, we make a good progress for our first ever conversation with this dude. We didn't even make him a drink he likes. I thank you for your efforts to buoy my spirits, bartender. A doomed effort, but one which you engaged in with genuine concern and thought. I simply must endure. I'm confident that even if most days don't feel like I make the world better, I am at least not making things worse, I hope. With everything going on, I require something stronger. Yeah. I don't give a shit about your summer holiday, man. I'm gonna be so for real. Bye, beach. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have pregame before stream. Whoops. Miss Fung Bay! Hey, she looks uneasy. Everything all right? Is it that obvious? Yes, perhaps you might be the solution to my problem. What voice did I give her? Shit, I don't remember. Like a little old lady voice, maybe? I'm looking to talk with you tonight, though a drink might also help at the moment. Okay. Let's do... Oh, wait. I should have asked her preferences. Yeah, we don't have her favorite here. F. What kind of drink can I get you? I think I like something minty and fresh. Ooh, mint punch. Please tell me we got mint punch on the menu. Menu changes between cases. There we go. Imagine this is still the wrong one. She tells me I want something minty, fresh. All right, mint punch. I don't know about this one. Delicious. You're quite the skilled mixologist. I should bring you some teas. Perhaps your clientele might like it mixed in with something alcoholic. Okay. You mentioned problems. Oh, don't worry too much about that right now. I'm feeling more cheerful now that I'm settled. Maybe my problem isn't worth dwelling on. We gotta fuck up her drink next time. Oh. Not when it might spoil the evening. Feng seems intent on keeping her happy mood going. Pushing her towards a bad mood will make her more talkative. I see. Oh dear. Okay, well then, can I ask you about these? Maybe this will put her in a bad mood. I read about this in the papers and heard it on the radio. People even whispered about it in church. A politician dying in such a brutal fashion has everyone worried. Do you believe that Bjorn did it? Of course not. You shouldn't lend credence to that sort of nonsense, dear. A foreign laborer is an easy scapegoat. It's as simple as that. So true. Absolutely true. Bjorn's alibi? Hey, were you at this party? Oh, could it be so simple? One wonders why Bjorn is even under suspicion if he has this kind of alibi going for him. My thoughts exactly. I guess how's business? Good, thank you for asking. Things have picked up since we lost Alina. The loss of such a bright light in our community darkened all our hearts, but time and tea helps us heal. She won't be forgotten. And though we miss her deeply, now when we talk about her, it's with fondness for the young... I just realized the person I'm playing as now never got to meet Alina before she died. Oh, I'm actually sad. Dang it. Oh. When we talk about her, it's with fondness for the young woman we were all lucky to know. It's still not as busy as before the unrest, but the regulars are floating back, and some of them even play on the chess set we leave set up in her honor. Stop it! I can't get this emotional so early in a case. I decided against selling coffee. It is not the right fit for me or the terrace, but changing the decor is on the cards. I painted the wall a lovely bright yellow. You painted it? Yes, it took me a while, but I got there. I'm fitter than I look, and I have an ulterior motive. I hope one of my old favorite customers comes back to see it soon. Maria loves yellow, and I would be happy to have her back in the terrace. You talked with her? Yes, and I've talked with her #1 fan. Vincent? No, Vincent is very fond of her, but I meant someone else, Clara. That's right! At the end of the first case, they were kind of, you know, getting a little close there. Or at least Clara was interested in her. The two are good company for each other. Clara is keen to make a good impression on Maria, and she's a good girl. Maria needs a friend right now. And I worry about Bjorn, too. I hope he comes to visit soon. I will make sure he feels welcome. Good. I don't trust the government in Sara or anywhere. I feel there is more going on here than we know. I have had my brushes with espionage back in Huaxia. I smell a cover-up. Ooh, government cover-up? Any evidence? None at all, dear. It is a feeling, but I trust my gut, and I trust the youth of Bukovi. Bjorn and Lucas are fine young men. I hope they find peace soon and receive restitution when Bjorn is proven innocent. It has been delightful, but I must be getting home. Okay. Well, that'll do it for today, I guess. I don't suppose we have any connections we can make with the 2 whole clues that we have. Nope, didn't think so. Hey, you never know. Might as well try. I need to find someone who was also at the party. At the hotel? Maybe Clara? I don't know what the party was for. I don't know if they ever said. Oh, hey, Hugo. Hey, buddy. Hugo Mertens descends the staircase into the speakeasy, looking at you with mild confusion. As he approaches the bar, you see he's holding the note you sent him the night before. I got your message. You're lucky I recognized your handwriting from the case reports. You wish to speak in private? Yes. Repeat everything from Lucas's plea, ensuring no details are left out. Hugo listens with patience and composure. Well, as you can imagine, everyone on the force is aware of these events. This is not some dramatic civilian feud ending in murder. This involves the death of one of the city's leaders. The senior officers are responding to the citizens' cries for justice, and the levers are being pulled in positions of power, too. I still trust the constabulary, but in this case we must expect them to be more rash than usual. Can't you reopen the investigations? Buy us some time? I could try, but I'd be risking everything we've been working for. Despite our combined success, the constabulary naturally assigns all plaudits to me. While that may give me some leverage, failing a case of this magnitude would likely see me demoted, at least. Ooh. Bro, don't do that, my guy. Hugo looks up and lets out a long sigh. He clenches his fist and slams it down on the counter. His bright blue eyes look deeply into yours. I just don't know about this. We're really putting our necks out here, and for what? Do I trust him? Do you trust me? Yes, damn it, yes, you're right. If there's any chance we can make a difference here, we have to try it. I'll submit a formal request to reopen the case. I do owe you a favor. Yes, you do, because I saved your Heidi last time. Things will work differently this time, I'm afraid. Both the press and my superiors are out for blood, and they have their teeth completely sunk into Bjorn as a suspect. Simply providing a defense won't be enough to save him. You need to provide a tastier treat on top. In other words, if you truly think Bjorn is innocent, find me the actual culprit. That's what I've been doing every single case. I'm just saying. Got it. I expect I'll be able to buy you 2 weeks, as usual. But if I don't show results by then, Bjorn will likely face a jury with extreme prejudice. He'll have no chance. Nothing would pain me more than to see an innocent man behind bars. I feel like justice is beginning to falter in Sara. We'll beat them too. We'll beat them no matter what. Let's converse. We have much to talk about. Oh, goddamn. Okay. What would you like to drink? You know very well I'm not opposed to drinking on the job unless you've decided to add plain black coffee to your menu. The answer is nothing. Oh, it's not supposed to be drinking. I thought it said opposed to drinking. I mean, that was true in the first case. I'm afraid I haven't. Whoops. Okay. Where should I start? Speak to everyone who was at the party, including Clara. She's our witness. We have very little on the second victim. Still, someone must be affected by their death. See if anyone is behaving suspiciously. So, second victim not identified. Well, will do. Okay. Are you still sure about being in the police force? More sure than ever. Why? Because you don't need an honest police force when things are going well. You need good officers when things hang in the balance. You think the police are in trouble? I think all of Sara is in danger. I worry that trouble could one day come to the constabulary too. We need good officers. If the sternest sailors jump overboard when the storms loom, the rough seas will mean the ship will surely sink. Alright. Ooh. I agree. Glad to hear it. Bullies look for the path of least resistance. Bullies in the criminal world, bullies in civilian life. What if they come to the PD too? They're constantly testing the boundaries of what they can get away with, and it's up to good men and women to offer resistance. I've never been very popular with my colleagues. Never had close friends. We still haven't heard anything about his fiancée after the first case. He mentioned in the first case that he has a fiancée, then it's like a year, and then months, and then more months later. I'm very curious. If I lost the chance to form relationships with people because I'm blunt, direct driven, well, I regret that. But what I do not regret is the friendships I missed out on or lost because I stick to what I believe in. You have principles. Thank you. In my mind, you could pay me no greater compliment. If I were to make a list of people I trust, you wouldn't be at the top. Wow, thanks. I wasn't finished. You wouldn't be at the top, but it would be a short list, and you would be on it. Guess I gotta play nice. I feel the same. I still have some mixed feelings. That first case where he betrayed the bartender still really kind of rubs me the wrong way, and I'm not gonna forget it, but you know. I appreciate that, but let's not get all sentimental, shall we? We still have work to do. I don't remember if I read it on the Steam page or like some bio for the game somewhere. I know there are romance options. I don't know if Hugo's one of them, which is partially why I'm especially curious about this fiancé. To get back to your question, you asked me if I had doubts about being an officer of the law. My response to you is this: duty. He said duty. Duty, the will to do what you must even if it makes you unpopular. The will to admit you are wrong for the greater good. The will to push yourself in danger to put yourself in danger to expose the truth. I still believe in the constabulary, and the constabulary still believes in duty. Duty is the will to take responsibility for something even when you don't have to. It is looking at someone else's litter on the street and putting it in the waste bin. It is helping a drunk man safely home even though he brought his misfortune on himself. And duty is working at a bar, helping the people you serve by keeping them safe, even when that's not your job. I trust I need say no more. Oh, damn. Let's talk about trains! I appreciate your efforts to indulge me in my hobbies, but we truly do not have the time. Please? Very well, but we shall keep it brief. Shall we discuss model trains? Sure. I'm working on freight carriages for, hold on. At Cheltenham Model 12, which was the original transcontinental long-distance locomotive that went between Port Novigrad in Rusalka all the way to Plemgradina in the southern peninsula through the Ventric tunnels and the Gardana mountains. Oh boy, loves him some trains. Oh gosh. This model has concentric rear axle piston driven accelerators, which are lined with whale oil in full-scale model, but in my model, I lubricate them with peanut oil, which is neutral, so... Go on. I have few fellow model enthusiasts to share my passion with. I should not have babbled on like that. It's a solitary hobby. Perhaps it should stay that way. Maybe you could show me one day? Are you teasing me, or... No, you're being sincere. Well, perhaps. Perhaps we can do that one day. Not now, obviously. Back to more serious topics, please. Okay. Well, we talked about everything. Oh, no, wait. No. Wait, hold up. No, I should probably ask him about the clues. A double homicide. Yes. Bukovi's treasurer brutally beaten to death, and a second victim yet to be identified. Beaten to death? Like... just... full fists and everything? Ooh. Is it any wonder the press is all over this case? We have our work cut out for us. Where should I start? Speak to everyone who was at the party, including Claire. She's our witness. We are very... Yes, we... Okay, yep. Okay, we talked about that. And then Bjorn's alibi. Normally, I wouldn't look a gift horse in the mouth. An alibi is an alibi, but it does feel suspiciously convenient, doesn't it? Let's see if anyone else who was at Hotel Jubilee that night can confirm this. Okay. Now we've talked about everything we can talk about. Yes. Both have lots of work to do. Claire! Oh, she's sitting with Maria. When did we last talk to Claire? It's been a while. Have we not talked to Claire since case 1? Travesty. The doorbell chimes, and your former co-worker Clara Salo descends the stairs. As soon as she sees you, she hurries to the counter with a big smile. Oh, that's right! Oh! Yeah, it was mentioned in this character's first case that we used to work at the hotel bar. Oh my gosh! Claire, long time no see! Fancy seeing you here. Well, it makes sense. Ever since you were let go from the Spire Lounge, I figured you'd turn up in a place like this. How have you been? Pretty good. At least one of us has some prospects. Damn, I gotta find a better gig. Something cool like you, but not exactly like you. What's up? Hey, don't mind me. I don't want to kill the mood this early in the evening, especially when we're in the middle of a reunion. Say, any chance of slipping me some freebies again? You know, for old time's sake? Sure, anything for a friend. Oh, I was kidding, but thanks for the offer. I wouldn't rip you off or take advantage. You're nothing like old Mr. Muldoon in the Spire bar with his secret bottle of Vinculum Red. You know, me and Sabra were drinking it and refilling the bottle with vinegar. If I'd known you were the new bartender, I would have come sooner. I'm not much of a drinker, but this place has a buzz about it, even if it's been a bit dangerous around here recently. What have you been up to? Bartitsu, of course. I'll tell you all about it when you have some time. Oh yeah, she's like martial arts person. Looking forward to it. Okay, what sort of drinks do you want? Oh, the one I really like is the copper bullet. Yes, I got you, fam. Yes. Okay. I'm so glad to talk to Claire again. I feel like a lot of these characters, either I really like them or I really don't like them. There's a few I'm kind of neutral about. Claire's one of the ones I really like. Really good. I could drink 10 of these. I won't, but you gotta know that I could. Okay. You mentioned work not going well? I'm too clear-headed to go back to those memories, barkeep. Oh, we gotta get her drunk. If she was less sober, maybe she would be more talkative. All right. Ooh, if you say so. Who are you close with, Clara? Here at the nightcap? I guess here or anywhere. I've been playing chess with Maria. Oh, great. I know. I don't really seem like the bookish sit at a table and move we fellas around type. I'm not exactly an intellectual. I didn't say that. Ah, thanks, bud. Appreciate your support. But Sifu I think that Sifu is sensei, teaches me that every skill you learn in Bartitsu can be applied to your everyday life. You got laundry to do, and then you have an opponent in front of you, and some hard work ahead. Break it down, don't give up, and sweep the leg, or the socks. Your boss is writing you for being late? Well, that's a high-pressure situation. Words are weapons and accusations are attacks. Be nimble, don't let him pin you down, and try to redirect his offense. Use his own moves against him. I was late? Yeah, I guess that's why I saw you smoking out back where it's forbidden. Oh, shit. Anyway, chess is a game of wits, and you don't win by being passive. You gotta be bold. At least that's how I play. Maria says I need to slow down and learn patient defense, but that's not really my style. Also, I don't care about winning that much. I'm never gonna beat Maria. She's so smart, but when I make big moves, she kind of smiles and... well, that smile, damn, it just lightens up the room. Let's go, lesbians! Hell yeah! She's been through so much. I just want to look after her. Protect her, you know. She's been behind this big cloud for so long, but I can see the sunlight peeking through. She's getting lighter, coming back to life. Oh. I'm glad you have a new friend. Thanks, and don't worry, we can be best buds too. Sifu says the more we come together, the better we'll be. Or is that a kid's nursery rhyme? Either way, it's good advice. Hey, do you think I should, I don't know, tell her more clearly just how much I, you know, respect and admire her? I was considering it, but her last partner was Alina, and I am nothing like her. Did you see her? You are very pretty. Wow, yeah, I don't know. What if she thinks it's inappropriate? Just tell her. Just do it. Right, I will. Maybe. I'll let you know. Okay. I don't want to learn about Bartitsu. So, about the alibi. Sorry, barkeep. I wouldn't know the first thing about that. What? Excuse me? Hello? What about the double homicide? Do we really have to talk about this? I already feel queasy every time I have to enter the room where it happened. Oh, fuck. Okay, so I love you, Claire, but you weren't that helpful. Okay. Hey, Maria. Good evening, bartender. I'm glad this place is still open. It's nice to see you again. I feel like we got off on the wrong foot. When we first met, I was in a bad place. I just lost my friend, and maybe I was a little cold, distant. It's understandable considering what you'd been through. Hey, thanks. That's decent of you to say. And I'm doing better now. Not, you know, fantastic, but I'm back on track. And the track right now leads to something tasty and alcoholic. It's good to take a break from books, socialize a bit. Is there anything you want to talk about before I go back to reading? What sort of drinks do you like? Oh, just something light. I'm more in the mood for a treat than something that will get me drunk, if that makes sense. I'm glad you've still decided to come to the nightcap, then. Of course! I suppose I'm here for the company more so than the alcohol, but everything you mix is delicious. Oh. I don't think we have her favorite. Yeah, we don't have the femme fatale, but we have the ambush. She likes the ambush. Oh, this is fantastic. Clara should try this one. She'd love it. Funny you mention Clara. Well, anyway, have you been reading the news about the murders? It's all very alarming, and it's had a big effect on the people here. I've been watching everyone closely. What have you noticed? Vincent was pretty shook up. I'm fond of him, but he has some old-fashioned ideas. He's not the most open-minded about foreigners, and he's prone to being judgmental. I don't know if I can talk to him about it. He seems touchy. And then there's Lucas. He's terrified, more afraid than Bjorn. He knows it doesn't look good for his partner. He just found someone, and now he's worried about losing them. Hugo's on the case, and he seems focused, but nervous. I see how he talks to you now, too. Something has changed. You're closer, and I'm glad. Maybe together you can solve this mess. I don't know if I want romance Hugo. Thanks, Maria. That's helpful. Okay. Do we want to ask about Alina? It's been tough, but after Alina's murderer was brought to justice, I felt better. A little. What do you think of Wendy now? That's right, because they all used to hang out. I don't think about her at all. I think of who I lost and how much duller my life is without her. There's a quote in my favorite book. I don't have nightmares about the axe that cut down all the trees. I have dreams of the forest and how the sun felt shining through the canopy. It's beautiful. I don't waste time on people that don't matter to me. Now I can remember Alina, and the person responsible has been taken somewhere she can be forgotten by me and everyone. Maria's a fucking badass. I'm trying to get on with my life. I guess the worst thing is when something good does happen and I want to tell someone. Alina would have been the first person I turned to. Last week I managed to play a few sets. I felt like a fog lifted from my brain. I was feeling the board, predicting the moves I needed to make to win. It was like the old me was back, just for a moment. But after the elation of a breakthrough, I didn't have anyone to tell, anyone to celebrate with. My joy just dissipated. What's the point of winning at chess if you can't share your victory with a friend? Wow, Clara. Oh, sure, I have spent a little time with Clara, and she's good company. I think she's a little nervous around me. I don't know if I intimidate her, but it sure seems like she's sweet on me. I wonder if she'll pluck up the courage to admit that to herself, or me. I'm putting myself out there, trying to make new friends, trying to find some joy again, and not just because it's what Alina would have wanted. It's what I want too, but I have to go at my own pace. I feel like first it was Lucas and Bjorn, now it's Clara and Maria. I feel like I'm a kid again, and I got two Barbie dolls, and I just want to like smash their faces together and make them smooch. Alina would be happy about that. Thanks, and not just for this talk, for everything. I'm glad I'm out and living my life again, and every time I force myself to come here, I'm glad to see you too. Thanks, friend. Ow! Have you found a new chess partner? I have. That's great, Maria. I'm not trying to replace Alina. I mean, we both know that. It's been good to have someone to play against. I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure Claire is that interested in chess. This may sound strange, but I think she just wants to spend time with me. You might be right. What should I do about it? What do you mean? Well, I don't want to give her the wrong idea. I just like her company and having a chess partner. I don't want anything else right now? Oh, my heart is broken. I see. So am I leading her on if I just want some company, but she thinks I want more? Maybe you need more time. Yeah, I suppose that's true, and I am fond of her. One day, who knows? I won't push her away. I don't think I could if I wanted to. Could I go back and tell Clara to be patient? Oh no, Betsy's gonna get her heart broken. And it's all my fault. Oh no, what have I done? I messed with my dolls too much. Hey, do you know anything about Bjorn's alibi? Really know anything about that? But how about the double homicide? Please, let's not talk about death. I don't really feel ready for that topic. Dang it. Okay. Well, guess it's time we talk to Feng Bei. Good evening, Miss Bei. Apologies in advance. I've never ruined a drink. Like, on purpose or otherwise. Because like I said, like, the drink making mechanic, the fact that there are so many options for making drinks and they do change up kind of between cases, that helps a little bit with the tedium, but it's always easy. It's not like the difficulty increases like throughout the course of a case or the course of a game. I kind of wish it did, but you know, it's not bad. All right. I guess we gotta ruin a drink. I hate it. I hate doing that. Oh. Oh. Oh, it looks bad. No, no. Oh! That hurts the affection! Oh, shit. I gotta be careful with that. No, no, dear. That's all wrong. Please be more careful when you mix the drinks. So you mentioned problems? Yes, I did. Mind indulging a lost disciple of the mother for a bit? Feel free to speak to your heart's content. Thank you, dear. I knew I made the right decision by coming here. It's about Father Lacey, the priest of my local church. Have you met him? Yes. Then you know he's not in the best emotional state, and that leads to excessive drinking. As his bartender, perhaps you are best placed to help with such an issue. Last Friday, I headed for the confession booth after Mass so I could ask the goddess for forgiveness. And? I don't want to pry. As I reached for the door, I noticed it was padlocked. This had never happened before, so I went looking for Father Lacey. I did eventually find him in the little sanctuary room beyond the nave, surrounded by multiple empty bottles of sacramental wine. Whatever demons he has to battle, that's between him and the goddess, but it pained me greatly to see John in this state. He just looked so upset. I asked him about confessions, and through slurred words, I gathered he was no longer taking any, and that I should just go home. I've grown so accustomed to weekly confessions that I felt uneasy leaving my sins unspoken, as it were, but there's more to it than that. Faith has been a strong pillar in my life. I know that if I found another priest, I would maintain my connection with the goddess, but I believe the goddess does not want that. She wants us to help the good people who cannot help themselves, people like John. If you have a chance to speak with him, let him know we're all worried about him, will you, dear? Sure. Okay. Sorry again about the drink. Oh, I forgot about this thingy. The stack. Whatever the hell. Oh, I can't talk to Ilya. Alright. Let's look up Petru. Was a Bukovi resident best known for his position as the city's treasurer. As the son of two laborers, Petru still managed to climb the ranks of local politics at the age of 18. Upon graduating high school, he began an internship at Bukovi City Hall. Oh, excuse me. Oh, drinks are setting in. Petru quickly displayed his exceptional money management skills to Clement Sullivan II, who held the position of treasurer of Bukovi at the time. Lombardo soon earned himself a spot as a treasury assistant. As the new city council was being assembled in 1912, Clemens pushed Petru Lombardo forward as a promising successor, a position he has held ever since. Petru went on record stating his money management skills are the natural result of his family's financial struggles, and okay, and they had to meticulously track and plan their spending every week to make ends meet. Okay, I might need to slow down a little bit. I'm not even that far into my drink. Like I said, I was the vodka kind of lingered at the top. I didn't mix it well. I think at this point, it might just be regular smoothie. I might have downed all the vodka. Oh no. Oh gosh. Petru was found dead at Hotel Jubilee on the evening of April 28th. Oh! That's the day after mine and Ben's wedding anniversary. While a police investigation is still ongoing, official statements confirm his death was the result of blood loss due to blunt force trauma. Okay. Let's search Lucas. I guess. Born blah, blah, as the son of Chester Crown and Emily Marcia Crown, current patriarch and matriarch of the Crown family. Zara's history traces the Crown's family name back to the country's first attempt at unification in the year 1600. The family has held positions of power as advisors to royalty and rulers alike, which theorized to be the origin of the name. Receiving his basic education through private tutors, Lucas went on to study economics and finances at the University of Wallavia in the south of Sahara. Upon graduating with high honors, Lucas returned to Bukovi and briefly worked at Weaver's Accounting to earn some workplace experience before finally accepting a job at Grand Central Bank, currently owned and operated by his father. Oh, so he's a Nepo baby is what you're telling me. I don't care, I like Lucas. Father Lacey. John Lacey Jr., the son of John Lacey Sr. and the current priest assigned to the East Church on Bukovi Boulevard. John Lacey has been in service for 25 years. Wow. to the Church of the Goddess, partaking in smaller services until taking over from his late father in 1910. Since then, official records indicate that the Bukovi Boulevard Church has grown in followers, which includes the renowned opera singer Olivia Carmine. Records also indicate that John Lacey briefly took a leave of absence for a month after his father John Sr. passed away in the summer of 1927. That was just last year in game, wasn't it? Or 2 years ago. Yeah, it's 1929 right now, but has since been back in service. Okay. That did not give us any additional clues. We'll come back, I guess, maybe later and check some stuff out. Sacramental wine. According to Feng Bei, Father Lacey has been terribly upset and refused to hold any confessionals on Friday. Could it be related to the recent crimes? Oh. Maybe the thing Hugo said, if anyone is acting off. Maybe it's John? You know, he's getting a little extra drunk, maybe? Maybe with the second body? Possibly? Not that he not that he did it. I don't think he did it. But he's like, maybe upset that someone he knows died or went missing or something. Let's see if we can perhaps... Bless me, Daddy! Father Lacey became terribly upset on the morning of the crimes and refused to hold any confessionals. Does he know something? Yeah, oh yeah! That's a good point! He was upset before the crimes were committed. Ooh, I had it backwards. Ooh, okay. Alright. He was preemptively upset about something. Which is a bit sus. Oh my boy, oh my boy. Hey buddy, hey, how you doing? You look sad. But oh boy, am I happy to see you. Oh, okay, hold up. Let me just kind of fix my hair a bit. Okay, straighten my shirt. Peter Wagner approaches the bar. His usual swagger is muted. He looks a little forlorn. Would you like a drink to turn that frown upside down? Oh, that's right. Peter's our debt collector. So we have, maybe a little bit of a tense relationship. Oh, God. It's been a while since I've done the voice for Peter. This is gonna be real bad. It's been a while, a few days, mate. Sometimes I feel like nothing can shock me anymore. It's nice to be proven wrong. Keeps you on your toes. You want to talk about it? Drink about it, maybe. Hey, at least you're off the hook for your debt now? We no longer have an official relationship. Okay, but what if I wanna... What if maybe I wanna have a different kind of relationship? I'm just... You know, I'm just putting it out there. You know, if you're be interested, yeah. Anyway, so off the hook for our debt. What do you mean? What? Pretty boy didn't tell you? Carl is out of the picture. Squirt. Squirt. What? Packed up and left. Probably on a beach sipping cocktails out of some poor sod's skull by now. Why did she leave? Fuck if I know. Characters in this game don't swear very often, but when they do, it's kind of like... It's a little punchy. Some deal gone south, they say. Probably cut her losses. Point is, she's gone. So I'm really off the hook? Peter looks up slowly, a half smile playing on his lips. He lets out a humorless chuckle, but the tension dissipates as he sighs. It was fun to come here and give you a scare, but nothing personal, right? You didn't take offense? He always says his business isn't personal. He's just doing his job. Just gotta do what he's gotta do. I get it. It was just a job. Alright. Glad you got some perspective. People can get real sensitive when you threaten their kneecaps. Peter! Did you threaten my kneecaps? Okay, it's okay. You're so cute. Anyway, I might still stick around this place unless you have any objections, but even if you did, I still need some place for booze. And damn it, I got attached to some of the ugly mugs I see around this place. Maybe my ugly mug fits right in. It does, Peter. Okay, let's get him a drink. In need of a tipple, Peter? Yes, I am. Let's get started. Okay, so he enjoys the perfect storm. Ooh. Nasty looking, strong and delicious. Reminds me of someone. Oh, he's probably talking about himself. Oh, well, delicious.
Nope, stop talking, go to jail.
Anyway, so you're unemployed now? Well, I'm currently available for employment offers. I'm considering whether I should keep my skills up to date by taking on some personal projects. Know any nosy folks I can work my knuckles on? I got it. Peter seems very guarded about this topic. You'll need both charm and a lot of liquor to make him lower his defenses. Ooh, we gotta get that affection up and get him drunk. Oh gosh, apparently his favorite drink doesn't even get him tipsy. I just noticed that. Okay. You enjoy your work, Peter? Sure, love it. Every day is happier and cheerier than the last. I can tell you're bothered by something. I'm used to bashing folk, but there needs to be some order, some stability, even just to get my days some damned variety. Variety? Yeah, my job's always involved bashing folks, but almost as much of it was threatening to bash folk, as sitting around tailing folk, collecting money for businesses we knew were reliable, getting kickbacks, picking up the boss's dry cleaning, you know, mundane stuff. What changed? Peter hesitates, biting his lip. For a moment, you think he's about to open up to you about something, but then he seems to reconsider. Do we have multiple conversations with Peter that require prerequisites? Well, I lost my fucking job, didn't I? It'll be all sitting around all the time now, so you'd better make sure you're still on my good side once my fist starts itching for a good bashing. My guy. Oh, that was the conversation. Okay. Well, you like it here, don't you? Nah, hate the place. Hate the lot of you. Especially you. You're the worst. Okay. You know, be serious. Damn it, Squirt. Ain't it enough that I come by here and tolerate you lot and all your soft talk? I'm not the sentimental type. I barely like myself, and I'm the smartest, best-looking fella I ever met. What do you want from me? A written admission that I like this place? You'll want a heart-shaped pillow with Peter Loves the Nightcap embroidered on it? Yeah. Yeah. Well, maybe you could put a photo up on the wall of me with all my chums. Me and Merton's best mates forever. Me and Vincent, his hand on my shoulder like he's a proud uncle. Me and the priest, and he's telling me all about hell like a tour guide who already knows where I'm headed. Oh shit. You're being defensive. Yeah, well, I ain't always sunshine and rainbows, you know. I have bad days like everyone else. My world got flipped and I'm still finding my feet, you know. Find your feet here. Ah, you just hit a sensitive spot. Truth is, I do like it here. My private life is a bigger fucking mess than my apartment. Peter, goddamn, you got a mouth like a sailor lately. My work is, well, it's shot. Who knows what comes out of all this upheaval? Nothing good. This place it's the one place I can be... yourself? It's the one place that makes sense right now. Ooh, so close! The world I live in, the world you don't know, it's chaos right now. More than usual. There's only so many heads I can bash in a night before I feel the need for this. I need a place like this. You have a friend here. You mean, you don't want friends like me. I'm trouble, Squirt. I don't like the nickname Squirt. I like trouble. Oh, yes. I should go drink for drink with one of the regulars. There's a few whose company I don't mind, and one or two might be able to keep up. What do you reckon, bartender? You see this a lot drink every night. Who's made of stern stuff? Who can hold their drink? Ooh. Well, Bjorn's not here. I kind of want to say Claire. Father Lacey does also drink a lot. Let's go with Clara. She's spunky, but she's no drinker. Come on, bartender, are you kidding me? I mean, the girl is competitive, sure, but she wouldn't last 5 minutes. Hey, this place ain't exactly my home from home, but it is a refuge for me recently. Thanks for the talk, bartender. Thanks for being, you know, pretty alright with me coming here all the time. You're always welcome. Okay, now we just need to get him drunk, which we can't do today, but we will do. Let's see. Let's ask his opinion about the double homicide. Beaten to death. Everything okay? Never mind, it's nothing. It's a messy, time-consuming way to kill. Up close and personal. If this wasn't a knockdown, drag-out fight, I'd say your murderer did it for the love of the game. I see. I gotta beat it. Time to stop drinking in the bar and go home to drink in bed instead. Can I come? not like, no. Oh, god damn it. Okay. Oh, we got a conversation we can listen in on. Ilya! Ilya sits with her nose stuffed in a book. You notice Vincent walk past intrigued. Is that book from upstairs? No, it's mine. Why? Just wondering. It's a Sarin classic, you know. I recognize the cover. Your accent. Where are you from? I'm from Rusalka, but my father's Italian accent shaped my own. And yes, this is translated. I'm struggling through it. I've heard good things about it, but in my language it seems bumpy. Vidic. Yes, he writes like a poet. I don't know how well his flowery prose would translate. I might have a native version upstairs if you want one. I don't know if my Sarin is good enough for that yet, but I'll give it a try. Tomorrow, I'll come back. Are you interested in Sarin literature, or is it just this book? I'm interested in Sarin culture. Dang, everybody's getting paired off. Obsessed, my mother would say. I moved here with that in mind. It seemed a sleepy sort of place before the excitement of the early Reformation period. Then there was the establishment of the National Libraries and Museums Cultural Project at the turn of the century. Yes, and that led to the Age of Prosperity, but that brought new problems of its own. Ooh! Vincent doesn't like immigrants. Ilya's an immigrant. Is she gonna teach him that, you know, he maybe should give immigrants a chance? Perhaps, but change is part of a culture. As long as books and histories preserve the past, vibrant culture is the sign of a hopeful future. Yes! Tell him, girl! I don't know if I agree. So much has been lost. So many people coming into the country and all those foreign imports. You might be enjoying a classic Sarin book, but I doubt many others are. I would say culture changes. Your country's local dish has tomatoes in it. Tomatoes aren't local to Callisto. They're imported. That tradition can only be a few hundred years old, but it was created, right? Vincent starts to speak, then pauses and thinks more deeply. Ilya has wrong-footed him. He doesn't look angry. You've given me something to think on, young lady. I'll go get you that book, then we can continue this engaging discussion. Hell yes. Hey, John. I heard a little something about you. Let's get you a drink first. He says he doesn't give a shit about flavor. Alright. Well, this is like 3 things in it. It's like a basic martini. Closest thing to flavor is the olive. So hopefully he likes this. It's not the strongest thing we have, but you know. All these What do you mean, unorthodox flavors? I literally said the only flavor about it is the fucking olive. Okay, alright. So, the fuck's going on with you, my guy? You've been terribly upset and refused to hold any confessionals on Friday. Miss Bay is an upstanding lady, but sometimes she cares too much. I'm fine, bartender. Just leave this be. I know nothing. You hear me? Nothing. Oh, getting quite defensive. Okay. What about became terribly upset in the morning of the crime and refused to hold any confessions? Does he know something? You are asking me about confessions and why they are not open right now? The city is steeped in sin. I doubt the goddess herself could burn it away. Sometimes I wonder if reality is some elaborate joke I am too obtuse to appreciate. Or perhaps I am the punchline. I digress. Confessions are a sacred affair, and I've sworn an oath of secrecy. Whatever a person confesses, it stays between me and them, but I am taught to seek the greater good, and perhaps breaking my vows is justified when it... I don't like when the music goes like that. Breaking my vows is justified when it serves a higher purpose, like condemning a monster. Did somebody come in to confess something sketchy before the murders? Monster? It happened last week. I was in the confession box one evening when a man stepped in. I heard a voice, not of a man, but of a beast. With an air so matter-of-fact it made my blood run cold. He spoke about a murder he was about to commit. An innocent man would die at his hands. But not only did he ask for forgiveness, he asked whether the goddess considers that a greater sin than if it were a guilty man, or if it's all the same to her. Confessions are about atonement for sins of the past. You cannot ask for permission to commit future sins. That's not in the rules. That's cheating. Of course, I did not say this to him. What was I going to do? Become a hero for the first time in my life while in the presence of a murderer? He ignored my feeble attempts to make him reconsider, and asked me how safe I really felt under the goddess's protection. I've never felt so afraid in my life. But that wasn't even the worst part. What was? Oh! The infernal whistling. The murderer came to confession. To tell what he was going to do. Oh, I got chills. Again, it just might be because the whistling really brings me back to the mindset of a previous murder mystery game we did, Killer Frequency. It's on my YouTube channel right now. 10 out of 10 recommend. It's great. Love it. Also takes place in the 80s, so kind of, you know, like different time period type dealy if you're into that sort of thing. But holy wow! When he finally walked away and left me shaking with fear in the confession box, he whistled an old tune, as casually as if he was strolling through the park or buying cheese and biscuits. Who whistles after confessing to murder? What a monster. Since that day, I could no longer bear the burden of Bukovi's sinners. I'm not just afraid, I also resent the petty concerns of my flock. I know how that sounds, but I am but a man, a small one. I just want to drink wine and lie down. Holy shit. Ooh, and apparently that was an affection-related conversation topic as well. Oh boy! Well, I think that's probably all we can talk to him about right now. Let's see, did we... I have sinned. Father Lacey has been terrified since a remorseless killer confessed to him a week before the murder, saying he would soon take an innocent life. The man whistled an old tune as he walked away. The specification about the tune has me thinking and thunking that it may come up later. Okay, where to next? We still haven't gotten anything useful out of Clara, have we? Evening, Claire. We need to get her drunk. Let's do that. Let's see. Oh, we need to get her up to a 7? Girl. I don't know what Peter was talking about. Girl can handle her liquor just fine. She got very high tolerance. Pretty great, I'll give you that. Just don't know if it's what I'm craving. Don't care. You mentioned work not going well. Clara looks uneasy, then gives you a depressed, knowing nod. The alcohol has helped relax her somewhat. Well, my night is already going badly. Might as well double down. At least the booze is taking the edge off a little. I take it you know what has happened back at Hotel Jubilee? Petru's murder. There goes the music again. Bingo. The maid who made the call? It was me. Of course it had to be me. Why is it always me? I always seem to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. I'm sorry to hear that. I was cleaning another room when I heard breaking glass and some kind of struggle in the premium suite. The live music from the party downstairs must have covered up whatever was happening in there. What did you see? Not too much. You remember the rules for maids, right? All guests want are clean rooms, not people cleaning them. Oh, all guests want to see your clean rooms, not the people cleaning them. Okay. Still, curiosity got the better of me, so I took a quick peek around the corner in case it was something serious. I know it was dangerous, but I also figured maybe someone was in need of help. Y'all gotta remember, like I said, I'm sorry if I stumble over my words. But we had the speakeasy bartender mindset, so, you know, I don't drink this much this often. So probably after I'm done with this series, I'm not gonna be drinking again for a good bit. But playing this series occasionally makes me feel like a little bit of an alcoholic. But I'm committed to the bit! You saw a guest? I saw someone walk out that room. I only saw them for a second before I ducked back to hide. They almost saw me. But in that second, I can say I'm sure of one thing. It was a big blonde guy. It looked a lot like Bjorn. Why did you hide? Blood on the door handle when he closed the door. You couldn't miss it. When I saw the blood, I knew I was in trouble. I hid till his footsteps faded away. Long after the footsteps were gone, I was just frozen there in my hiding spot. I've been in scraps and fought my way out of tough situations, but I've never been so afraid in all my life. When I finally ran to the telephony machine in the lobby, I could barely dial for shaking. Sounds frightening. I'm glad the police found the body, and it wasn't me or any of the other maids that saw the mess. The descriptions in the papers were enough to make my stomach churn. Still, I'll never forget what I heard that evening. What sort of psycho would whistle a tune as he walks away from a murder? That's disconcerting. I feel like we're gonna have to connect Clara's statement with the thing that John said. I agree. Anyway, I gave my statement to the police, and it seems Bjorn is the only one who fits the description. I don't know him personally, but if Lucas vouches for him, that's got to stand for something. Part of me just hopes some new suspect appears out of nowhere. That's what I think is going to happen. I think there's going to be some other, like, burly blonde guy that we've never seen before who's going to come in, and he's going to be the murderer. That's what I think. Or it's just some case of, like, fucking, I don't know, like, misunderstanding or something. Like, I don't know, some type of weird self-defense thing. I don't know. Anyway, I'd hate to see Lucas go from lovebird to the unwitting partner of a murderer. Me too. Oh, do trust. Maybe let's ask about this. Oh, I don't like that at all. That's like something out of a horror story. You're not easily frightened. I'm not scared, I'm just realistic. All the Partitsu in the world isn't going to stop a guy like that. Sifu teaches us what to do when facing a superior opponent. Run! Well, not with that attitude. I don't know, I've seen you go toe-to-toe with some pretty scary guys. Okay. I feel like we need to make that connection. We probably need to have some more conversations, though. Maria? Dear Maria, count me in. Let's see. Let's get her a drink. I don't know if Maria's gonna be a big part in this investigation. There's nothing, like, pending that we need to talk to her about with certain prerequisites, like her being drunk or having a certain affection level or whatever. So maybe she's just here to hang with Claire, and I'm fine with that. Well, I want to tell her to visit the tea terrace. Will you visit the tea terrace? I want to. I should look in on Miss Bay. She misses Alina, and you too. I know. I've been caught up in my own grief. I couldn't shake the horror of that night. I didn't want to see that place again. It must have been hard for Feng, too. It happened in the place she considers home. Maybe if I go back there, even if it's hard for me, it would make her feel better. I'm not avoiding her. I hope she knows that. Tell her. Just like that? Well, you know what? You're right. What if she thinks I don't want to see her? What if she thinks I am avoiding her? I should call in. Tomorrow. Hey, bartender. Thanks for giving me a nudge. This is the right thing to do. For me and for Miss Bay. See, this is kind of what I like about this game. Because there are some conversations where, like, they don't necessarily pertain to the case, but they add more to the characters and their relationships with each other. And especially in a type of game like this where it's very visual novel-esque, you have limited aspects to work with. The characters and the story are like the two biggest things you got. And you gotta make them good. And I think this game is doing just that. Okay, let's see. We haven't talked to Ilya yet, this case. Ilya takes a seat at the bar, looking around the room with a smile as she breathes in the atmosphere. Evening, barkeep. Evening, Ilya. Good to say this place is filled with people. There's a lot of history in this building. I wonder if there's ever been a bar in here before this one. I should look that up. Please tell me if I get stuck chatting about the same subject for too long. I do that a lot. Oh, you so good, babes. What sort of drinks do you like, Ilya? Something sweet is good for a beginner, right? Can you get chocolate drinks? Is that possible? If not, why not? Please, okay, yes, okay. Chocolate. You place a clean glass before Ilya. She inspects it, her glasses reflecting the warm light of the bar. How about a drink? Oh, yes, please, something delicate. I'm still refining my palate for liquor. I feel that. Yeah, like when I started drinking alcohol for the first time, when I was of legal age at 21 years old here in the States, you know, it's kind of like you have so many options, you don't really know where to start with. And so you kind of just got a trial and error. Let's see, so we can't go above a 7. But she probably wants something with flavor. How about a pirate's joy, maybe? Maybe she'll like something fruity. Killian hasn't come in yet. I was just starting to kind of sort of like him, not in a romantic sense, but in a I tolerate and could maybe have you as a friend type of sense towards the end of the last case. I'm fascinated with how you have created a new flavor profile here. I must make a note. Flavor satisfactory. Is that one of her favorites? Does that mean it's one of her favorites? Dang it! Crap. Okay. Well. Ooh. Rusalka, do you ever miss home? Sometimes, yes. I have fond memories of my childhood in Rusalka. Solza is a small village with harsh winters and cold summers. My grandmother ran the local library, so I spent all my free time surrounded by books and old women chattering about the weather. Oh. People were very warm and close-knit, always coming together for coffee or a chat. I did miss that after I left, being surrounded by it. Traveling there always felt like I was diving back into the past. The transport is old and rickety, the streets full of potholes, the buildings still riddled with bullet holes from the war. Do you still go there? Not really. These days I have no more reason to. Neither of my parents are still alive, and the library was sold after my grandmother passed. Oh. Besides, my interests have drawn me here to Bukovi. It's fascinating how much Saran culture has evolved since the Age of Prosperity, how much it continues to change year by year. Not like my hometown, forever frozen in time. Bukovi is my home now, at least until my interests pull me away somewhere else, I guess. You'll always be welcome here. Were you by chance at the party? I don't have any information to share. Okay, well... Ilya might be in a similar position as Maria. They look very similar too, with like brown hair, bluish tops. I think Ilya's just kind of here to kind of like add, what's the word? Add to the crowd and environment and to maybe build up her character a little bit. Kind of less so for case reasons, maybe. Because it doesn't seem like there's anything really important we can talk to her about. Well, I guess that'll do it for now. Let's talk to Vincent. I hope you're a bit less of a shit this time. My appetite for conversation has waned lately, but I trust you will rekindle the flames of diverting discussion. Ooh, so let's get him a drink. Show me there's still some class left in Bukovi. Right. He likes the martini, because he likes olives. Each their own. To me, olives are little tiny pits of disgusting, but you know. Again, to each their own. You truly evoke the taste of Bukovi from my youth. This is straight from the age of prosperity. Delicious. Yeah, right. Still convinced Bjorn is the culprit? Nothing has occurred to change the fact that he was witnessed firsthand. You were there at the party? I was. It was an important high society event that I was attending. Oh, can we ask him about the alibi? Naturally, I was surprised to see someone like Bjorn, but given he was brought by Lucas, I could see why the fish was out its water. I wanted to turn a blind eye and focus on having a jolly good evening, but then he decided to cause a bit of a commotion. Ooh, how so? I noticed him approach Petru that evening, which was already strange, seeing as Bjorn didn't really interact with anyone and stuck like a barnacle to Lucas. What a strange sight. A steel mill worker and a politician speaking as if they knew one another. Whatever he said, it must have been upsetting, because Petru angrily ordered Bjorn to leave him alone and stormed off. Initially, I attributed it to a simple social faux pas and tried not to gob. After the hubbub died down, Lucas walked up to me and asked if I'd seen Bjorn. He had conveniently exited the premises. So, Bjorn's alibi doesn't hold up. He wasn't actually with Lucas all night. I don't think Bjorn is the murderer. Not by a long shot, unless there's some, like, really convenient way to explain it to get him off the hook. However, this game really likes to throw some well-done twists around. Like the previous case that was a suicide by proxy, accidentally. Anyway, he had conveniently exited the premises shortly after the police arrived. Bjorn left. Guilty feet find haste when repercussion approach. I told the press as much when they asked witnesses for details. You told the press about Bjorn? Yes, pardon me, but you sound almost accusatory when asking me if I did my duty as a citizen of Sara. I reported suspicious behavior to the appropriate authorities. I mean, okay. Yes, that's fair. If you see something that looks suspicious, then maybe report it. But also, don't, like, let your distaste for immigrants, like, really put your hand on the scale there, you know? That's all I do. If you're not interested in listening to your patrons, I suggest you search for a different line of work. So can I ask about the alibi? Bjorn at the party all evening? Don't be so naive. You're being taken for a fool, my friend. Were you listening to what I told you about that night? It doesn't add up, and I'm not the one lying. My appetite for conversation has waned. Yes, okay. You seem a little less jovial today. Can you blame me? The country is in flames, and look around you. This bar has done nothing to improve the civility in the city. We're offering people respite. At best, I had hoped the nightcap would unite the people in some way. Perhaps it could offer a shared space to lift the cultural zeitgeist towards tolerance and understanding by welcoming people of all creeds and cultures. It's a failed experiment, bartender. At least we tried, but we must admit we failed. How so? These recent heinous murders, the news of the war, not to mention the debacles at the Tea Terrace and the Opera, All the while, the immigration numbers rise as Sara loses its identity. It has literally nothing to do with this place, though. It's a bad run for sure. Yes, indeed, and my late wife would not like to hear me talk this way, but Sara must look after its own people first. The nightcap was to be a bulwark against our cultural decline, but I look around here, and who do I see that alleviates the civility of our community? Who? Father Lacey? I have never seen anyone complain so much about complaining. If confessions are so unbearable to him, he should find a new profession. Say that a little louder. I think he's over in the corner. His moping sucks the life out of any merriment, even here. Peter Wagner? Another thug and hooligan. I would ban him from this place if I wasn't afraid someone worse might follow. Shut your mouth about my hopefully potential boyfriend. And then we have the weasel Detective Mertens. A weasel? Untrustworthy. A rodent. He's a bit of a weasel. He has a capacity for capriciousness that we should all be wary of, none more so than you. He's an ambitious man, and he's stepped on people like you before. You should be on your guard around him. I know I'm exceptionally gloomy today, bartender. I feel I should warn you to take no heed of my pessimism, but an even worse fear has hold of me, and I can't seem to shake it. What's that? I fear that my mood is justified by the world we live in now, that I am not a pessimist today, but a realist. Blast. What are we to do, barkeep? Well, we need to be more hopeful for the future? Yes, well, that is easy to say, but perhaps there is some truth in it. I will keep myself busy and hope that my dark thoughts are not simply a reflection of a darkening world. It's getting late. Bukovi's getting more dangerous by the day. Make sure to lock up and get home with judicious haste. Will do. Oh no. I gotta talk to Lucas about the alibi. I don't wanna. I really don't wanna. Okay, let's get him a drink. I imagine there's probably some things we can't talk to him about without a prerequisite, like putting him in a bad mood or some such That tastes like something I can't remember forgetting. Sorry for getting all poetic. It's just, it's really good. Okay. What could I serve Bjorn to cheer him up? He could probably use something with a little kick to get him out of this rut. Ginger, perhaps? Your copper bullet has that, right? Okay, let's see. You and Bjorn are sticking together? Yes. Good for you. Thank you. I appreciate your faith in my judgment. Not everyone has been so supportive. Indeed, family and even some former friends have suggested I cut ties with Bjorn like he was some old jacket I can simply cast aside. I wonder what you think of relationships. You are a skilled conversationalist, but you share little of your own life, your own values and beliefs, and your situation. Do you have a special someone? Oh. I have options. I have someone in mind. Then I hope you are in their mind too. You deserve someone who appreciates your qualities. There are many. Regardless of your current romantic status, I wonder what you feel is important in a relationship. In particular, what would you do for someone you love? Where does love run out and you draw the line? What do you mean? I mean, what would you not do for love? Is he kind of leaning towards, like, what if Bjorn does actually turn out to be a murderer? Is this important? Oh, music is sad. I suppose not. It is a frivolous distraction, but that's what I need right now. Drink and pointless discussion over irrelevant hypotheticals. Forget it. I get it, Lucas. I'll indulge you. Alright, so tell me, what would you be unwilling to do for love? What is too far for you? I'd do anything for love. But I won't. How romantic. A bit lyrical, I feel. I'm not sure I believe you, but I applaud the purity of the sentiment. Well, thank you for the welcome distraction. I mean, I literally have a huge-ass crush on a criminal who may or may not have threatened my kneecaps. Ah! I appreciate being indulged like this. You are a distracting conversationalist and a good friend. God damn it, I don't want to put him on the spot about the alibi. I hate this. I hate it. I hate this. I hate it. Bjorn Seeger argued with Petru, prompting Petru to leave for his hotel room. Bjorn slipped away soon after. Fuck. Oh, what? Surely Vincent saw someone else and just mistook them for Bjorn. I told you he'd already left the party by then, didn't I? Please be honest with me, Lucas. I can't help you unless you're honest with me, and dear God, I want to help you. Oh, fine. Lying isn't going to fix this mess, is it? I'm so sorry, bartender. I don't know what I was thinking. So Vincent saw Bjorn and Petru talking, and you want to know what it was about? Yes. Well, considering Vincent's actions, I'm sure you understand why I'm reluctant to trust anyone right now. There goes the music again. Why are we having so many serious conversations in such quick succession? Damn. I understand. Lucas takes a deep breath and looks around to make sure nobody is listening in. He leans in closer and begins to talk. A few weeks ago, Bjorn was waiting for me outside the bank after work when Petru approached him. He was one of our clients. Petru asked if Bjorn was interested in earning some extra money. Sounds shady. Yes, clearly, but he agreed. Bjorn received large sums of money on his account from an unknown party, and he wired 95% of it to a string of other accounts. The remaining 5% was his to keep. Isn't that money laundering? He had no idea, of course. Bjorn doesn't know anything about the corruption that runs rampant through Bukovi politics, let alone what money laundering even is. Petru spun him some sob story, played him like a fiddle. Unknowingly, Bjorn had become a mule, as they call it. Every time he spotted a large sum of money in his account, he did what was asked and forwarded it to the account numbers he was given. After I bailed him out, Bjorn told me all about it. Naturally, I did not want to add to his list of alleged crimes, so I told him to keep quiet about that. Apparently, a few days before the murders, Bjorn hadn't received the usual payment. When he spotted Petru at the party, all he did was ask if the job was over. No! Did we just get Bjorn's motive? Fuck. We're going the wrong way. Of course, discussing money laundering in public is not something a politician wants to be caught doing, so he angrily hissed at Bjorn to leave him alone and went upstairs. That's all Bjorn told me. It's not a good look for him, but anyone who knows Bjorn would realize he is not knowingly capable of financial crimes, far less murder. It's too much of a himbo for this. That's his alibi. That's his defense. Bjorn is a himbo. If it works for Olivia, she's too much of a ditz to sabotage the weapon. It can work for Bjorn. Thank you for trusting me. Ooh. Well, want to talk about something lighter? Coffee recommendations? Do I look like someone who needs coffee? Do I appear relaxed? Am I lacking in anxiety as the police try to frame my partner for murder? No coffee, then? Of course I'm drinking coffee, despite the fact that it is definitely not helping me, but I am not sleeping anyway. I may as well stay up all night researching obscure Sarin law books which might offer a loophole for Bjorn. Any luck? None. And Vincent won't let me borrow legal manuscripts from Libraria. Not that they would help. I checked out law books from the Municipal Depository of Legal Literature. Useless. When I read everything I could get my hands on, I started calling people instead. Again, the coffee helped. Who did you call? Ghostbusters! No, they probably won't be helpful here. Although, this game does like to throw out some twists. Anyone and everyone. A retired judge, 3 lawyers, my stepfather. None of them seemed hopeful. Still, if I had to recommend a coffee for these situations, Yerba Red has worked best for me. How? Well, it keeps my head clear, gives me some focus, and it really gets the heart racing when you need an extra kick at 3 a.m. Oh, and it's got a nutty aftertaste and overtones of cranberry and damsons. Whatever helps you get through this tough time. Yes, thank you. I appreciate that. Maybe I should cut down to 7 cups, though. He was previously on like 8. Yes, maybe. Let's talk for a bit. Yes, okay. Okay. Alright. Well, let's go ahead and end there. Do we have the... We do have the case file. We have no other suspects besides Bjorn. pain. Pain. Life is pain and endless suffering. We usually have 4. Does this mean there are 3 currently unknown suspects? Are you shitting my metaphorical dick? Huh? Let's go see if there's anything over at the stack. Let's see. Oh, how are you, Ilya? I say as she's like right behind me. Apologies, your default operator is currently not available. If you wish for a new operator, please use the menu in the main terminal. From the settings menu, toggle the primary contact to backup operator. Maybe I need to ask that when she's not here. Should I talk to Hugo about some shit? Hey, Hugo. So about this. Bjorn kind of did a whoopsie, just a teensy-weensy little bit accidental money laundering. Petru was using Bjorn as a money mule? No wonder he was keeping quiet. But why did the payments stop, I wonder? If the police were on Petru's tail, I would know about it. Perhaps more importantly, who was this third party? Oh yeah, who was the money being sent to? If some deal ended poorly, they may have had a hand in his death. Ooh, perhaps it's time to ask my criminal consultant. I'll take any excuse to talk to Peter. Okay, let's go ahead and go. I think we do have some connections we need to make. So we should probably go do that. I don't know why I'm talking like I'm out of breath. This game is a lot, like, mentally. So I think we do have a contradiction here. It's a bit like, at times, the clue board, like Phoenix Wright. Yeah, so unfortunately, we need to put together the contradictions. Lucas lied about Bjorn's supposed alibi trying to protect him. Bjorn has no alibi for the time of the murder. A dead end. Fuck. Ooh, what about... the whistling is the same here. The killer's confession. The killer in the confessional was surely the same man Clara saw leaving Petru's room, as both whistled the same old tune. Father Lacey spoke to Petru's killer. He should be able to help us identify him. Okay. So, do we need to go back to Father Lacey and be like, yeah, that dude who said he was gonna commit a murder? Yeah, he did it. So, yeah. Good job on that. Let's go on to the next day. Hopefully Peter's... He's not here. Fuck! Why isn't Peter here? Bjorn is here! Oh my guy. Oh, I just want to give him a hug so bad. Bjorn's shoulders are slumped and he sits down with a deflated sigh. He pulls at a thread on his sleeve, then grunts and shakes his head. Hello, I'm glad to see you, pal. I'm not causing bother by coming here, am I? Bjorn, I have your back. You're going to beat this murder charge. I appreciate that, pal. I really do. Anytime. Oh. Bjorn opens his mouth and his words stall. He shrugs like he has nothing left. It might take some time before he will open up again. Interested in talking or just a drink? Despite everything happening, it's good to see your face, pal. Let's get him a drink. Copper bullet. I remember. I have it written down. I asked his boyfriend. I know what he likes. Good partners know what your tastes are. Hell yeah. We may have already known from previous cases, but you know what? That's great stuff, so it is. A few more of these and I'll forget all my troubles. Oh, he's in a good mood. I'm so happy you could briefly forget you're being framed for murder. So, can you tell me what happened that night? Bjorn stares blankly. He looks defeated, but then you see perhaps a glimmer in his eyes. Hope remains. I just made mistake after mistake. Going to the party with Lucas, then believing that damn message on my portogram? I was a damned fool. I don't know what a portogram is. Tell me about the message. Yeah, sure. Bjorn pulls a small device out of his pocket and holds it out so you can read the last message received. 2331 PL location, Furnace Steel Mill. We must talk. So, the furnace at the steel mill. So he was at the steel mill When the second murder happened? P.L. Petru Lombardo? Aye, it seems that way. There was an issue at work, union stuff. I assumed it was that. I left the party and went to the steel mill right away. I looked for my contact by the main furnace, but then... Bjorn closes his eyes and shakes his head, his fists clenched, knuckles white. It all happened so damn fast. Tell me what you do remember. It was dark, cause they dropped the shop lights at night. I stumbled through the west gate, and as I walked past a pillar, I get slugged in the gut. Hard. I double over and hear the gate close behind me. It deadlocks. I catch my breath. I've been hit harder than that, but not by much. I could barely see the big bastard in the gloom, but I tried to get space. Give him a good shove, reach for the gate, but the lock is set, so he grabs me again. Never lost a fight in my puff, but I was losing this one, and this was different. This guy, he had done this before. Beaten men to death. Oh, wait! Hold up, I need to finish this conversation first. I can't believe I found the doming hammer in the dark. I was going to use it on the lock, I swear. Bjorn takes a deep breath. You already know what he will say next. I swung as hard as I could, like my life depended on it. I could swing like that 100 times and never make contact so perfectly. Right on the head I hit him, cracked like a fucking egg. Okay. Oh, okay. This might be a flimsy theory. The whistling has me a little doubtful from the whistling we saw in the opening scene. However, the comment he made about like he was used to beating guys to death, that's how Petru died. So, the killer, whoever it is, killed Petru, then went to go see Bjorn, and then Bjorn killed the killer in self-defense. I'm starting... The threads are connecting. I need to do it, like, literally on my board, but, you know. What happened after that? It's all a blur. I don't remember how long I stood there. I don't even remember dropping the hammer. All I know is that when I came to my senses, all I could think of was Lucas. Why him? He always knows what to do. I didn't know who else to turn to. So I found a phone, called him, and just sat there waiting. When he finally arrived, he knew it was bad. Really bad. He insisted we get rid of the body. I just numbly followed his lead. We threw it in the furnace and went home. Lucas was involved in disposing of the body? Did the attacker have a portogram? I didn't think to check. If he did, it must have ended up in the furnace. What next? Lucas was frantic, and he was worried that no one would believe I was innocent. Neither of us slept that night. I think he knew it was the wrong decision, but it was too late. The deck was stacked against us, so we just sat there, waiting. Of course, the police quickly found us and asked me to come to the station. You already know the rest. Looking at me now, you wouldn't guess I was in a fight for my life, right? I've never bruised easily, and that's not exactly helping my case now. Still, it's a relief to tell this to someone who might believe me. Thanks for listening, pal. What do you think of me now? Less, I reckon. You acted in self-defense, like literally... Whatever, the comment he made about, like, fighting for his life or whatever, like, literally, he probably would have died. I appreciate it, pal. I hope the courts feel the same, but I doubt it. Especially not because he's apparently being implicated in Petru's death. It's better for me to die in a jail cell than on a battlefield, I suppose. Still, never imagined life in Bukovi would turn out like this. We'll do everything we can to prove your innocence. Okay. So, Bjorn definitely didn't. Like, he may have killed in self-defense, but it wasn't maliciously. You know? What can I ask him about? I want to ask him... Oh. Because in the opening cutscene we saw... the guy was whistling. I wonder... what kind of sick fellow would confess to a murderous intent with the goddess as his witness? I don't know this Father Lacey, but I feel for him. That must have been a terrifying ordeal. I imagine it's no coincidence our paths haven't crossed yet. I'm sure it's just coincidence. You're a decent sort, but there's no need to coddle me, pal. With my name in the papers, I hear what people are whispering. I see the way they look at me, or the way they avoid looking at me, even here. You'll always be welcome here, Bjorn. If people have problems with it, they can get the fuck out. Thank you, that means a lot. Despite everything happening, yeah. Okay, well... What do you mean by the machine? There was a comment about that Lucas mentioned when he got bailed out. There's a big machine that's been set in motion, and it's designed to burn up people like me, but it's more than that. What do you mean? The machine is a concept from literature. It's from a book. Well, a pamphlet originally. The writer called it a treatise, but to my mind, that's a grand term. His name was Alexis Abruvaz. He wrote about the machine? He coined the phrase, but he argues the machine has always existed, and it will always exist. And I agree. What is it? Abruvaz says the machine appears in all cultures at some point. It's a complex idea, but here's the basics. The machine is the gears of industry, commerce, and the law, and there are two types of people who are affected by the machine. There's those that control the levers and make the machine work, and there's those that get ground up and burned to fuel the machine. Abruvaz says the machine doesn't care if you don't believe in it, you still burn. The machine doesn't care if you want out, you still burn. The machine doesn't care if you control the levers. You have to use them, and they will still burn. Sometimes the machine burns you up so slow you don't notice, but you still burn. So what are we supposed to do? Abruvaz isn't too optimistic. He says every time we realize we are part of the machine, those hurt by it will rise up, but in its place they will build a bigger, more complex machine. Subtler, but eventually even more cruel. I think we can build a better system, maybe? As a theory, it all seemed a bit doom and gloom for me before all of this, but I think deep down I knew it was true. Now I'm on the wrong side of the law, I feel myself getting burned up. I see the truth, but I know there's nothing I can do about it. Yikes. Okay. What about... What about this, maybe? Oh, Lucas. Why would he lie for me like that? What a daft thing to do. I think we both know why. Too much heart and too little sense, that lad. I should never have involved him in any of this. I was always liable to get myself in a bother here, but I shouldn't have dragged someone like Lucas down with me. He can make his own choices, and he chose you. You're probably right. I just worry the lad's risking far too much. He had prospects, a future. I was never going to amount to much, but he was. I'm not worth all that. Of course you are. Oh, you're too kind, pal. Thanks very much. You're welcome, Bjorn. I shall get myself home. If I stay too late, I risk getting caught, which would look bad in front of a judge. Yikes! So, is there maybe a connection we can make? Was beaten to death on Friday at 11 p.m. Second body was found the morning after. Wait, so when did Bjorn leave? Because if he was gone at the time of Petru's death, maybe. Received a message from Petru on his portogram at 11:30. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like there's definitely some connections there. I'm not entirely sure if we can make them yet. I don't know. Evening, Claire. Let's see. Can we show her anything? Maybe not. Did she see the argument, perhaps? Sorry, Barkeep, I wouldn't know the first thing about that. What about... The killer confessed? Boy, am I glad I caught that whistling. So Father Lacey sat next to some serial killer? I'm surprised he didn't have a heart attack on the spot. Me too. I suppose they'll find him. I hope they'll find him soon. Hopefully it's not Bjorn, but if so... The idea that this guy is still out there gives me the heebie-jeebies. Me too. Okay, I think that's all we can get out of Claire for now. What about Halia? Okay, I want to find her favorite drink. What sort of drinks? Something sweet. Something sweet, something sweet, something sweet. What did I give her last time? I think I gave her the Pirate's Joy last time. I mean, she does like both of these. Apparently not enough. Let's maybe do the ambush, especially because she's a beginner drinker. You know, maybe she wants something a little lighter in alcohol content, maybe? We shall give it a try. It is fascinating to partake in the rituals of alcohol, and this is the finest drink I have ever tasted. Well, one of the only drinks, but still. Oh, did we find our favorite? Fuck yeah. So in all your research, what do you find most interesting? Well, I often go down a rabbit hole on one particular subject or another, but in general, it's Saran history that fascinates me the most. The challenge for me is remembering the bigger picture. When you start digging into Saran history and culture, you can really lose track of time. I've always been like this. My parents worried I was always off in a world of my own, diving into books, researching some esoterica for days. My Rusalkan grandmother owned a library, though, so I had plenty of source material. Baba always encouraged my curiosity. She brought me new books every day, but my parents thought I was peculiar. Still, at least they were honest with me about it. I prefer when people are forthright with me, but now I realize not everyone likes that. For example, I don't know if you want me to say something about your apron. What about my apron? It's unacceptably stained for you to be serving people. Some of the red wine stains are more than a week old. You can tell by the patina. It's a very clear 8-day patina or more. Oh. Anyway, I'm trying my best to be a bit more social, hence here. I could stay home reading all day, but even I know there's more to life than books. Books! Socializing! She and Vincent are made for each other, and Vincent's wife did pass away, so maybe Ilya could be a new start. She might be a little bit young for him, though. I don't know how I feel about that. I've noticed you look into the bar's decor. Do you like it? Oh, I was more so admiring the architecture. One of the best ways to learn about how the world was what once was is to look at how the world is now. This basement clearly has a rich history. I can tell from the cornicing that the speakeasy and the library above was once a municipal building. You and Vincent must get on. They do sit together often. We do, but I feel talking with him for hours on end about cornicing is not really the kind of socializing my parents always wanted me to engage in. Still, we do also talk about culture. Vincent was asking me about instruments from Rusalka, but I actually prefer Saran folk music. I'm half Italian. God, I really am an ignorant white American. But they don't have many traditional instruments either. I prefer a lot of things about Saran culture. That's why I came here. Really? Yes. Vincent has been a great tour guide through Saran culture. At first he was a bit wary of me, as he is with most foreigners, but that faded when I asked him about ancient Saran architecture. So I guess you could say that although we had our differences, that's ancient history. Not that one. Haha. Do you get it? Do you understand my joke? I get it. Very funny. Wait, really? Yeah, somewhat. Oh, right. Nice one. Great. Oh, come on now! Anyway, I really am fascinated by history. When I get bored of one subject, I can always switch. What subjects are you interested in now? Oh, for a while, Vincent was taking me through the history of Bukovi roofing materials. You know, we'd go on a walk to that bakery he likes, even though I don't really care about cakes. He would go on about them, so I would eat one and pretend I loved it too. And he'd talk about tiled roofs and sloped roofs and old thatched roofs and... Anyway, Vincent and I found it interesting. Now, though, I think I'd like to learn more about this building and have some drinks while I look around. Okay. I like Ilya. Will your friends from Silas Tech be joining you? I don't think so. They all go to another place. Some kind of cafe with soda drinks, I think. Why don't you join them? I'm sort of an outsider. I don't really feel like I want to tag along with them, and I don't think they want me to either. Well, you're welcome here. Right, thanks. I don't make friends easily, but this seems like a friendly place. Why can't you make friends? Oh god. I don't know. I suppose it might be the timing. I mean, when I get bored of a conversation, I just want to stop. Why should I keep talking when I don't want to talk anymore? So sometimes I leave too early and people think I'm rude. But then I also find it kind of hard to judge when someone else wants me to leave. I mean, back in Rusalka, it was a little clearer, but it's not it's still not always obvious to me. I guess I just find it hard to figure out when people are just being polite here or back home. She got that neurospicy social cue thing going on. Hashtag relatable. I'll be honest, I moved to Bukovi because I wanted to experience the culture, not make friends. Silas is a great place for someone like me. Someone like you? Yeah, you know, a sponge for facts and trivia. And the people there are nice, but it's mostly a solitary job. And I like that. I can explore little rabbit holes of knowledge for hours without anyone bothering me. But sometimes I wish there was one I could share my interests with. Just for a while. Just till they get bored. So I guess that's one reason why I come here, and one reason why I'm talking to you. I'm glad you made a friend. You mean you? Sure. Thank you. Are you supposed to thank people for being your friend? You can. Well, I'm going to say thank you because I am grateful and it makes sense to me to say it. And let me know if you need anything from me in return. Friend. Okay, friend. Ow. Would she... No, that feels like too much of a stretch to ask her about the old tune. Especially because I don't know if John specifically mentioned what tune it was. A confession from philosophical curiosity rather than guilt, a blatant disregard for social rules and the distress of others, and exploitations of the seal of confession. Oh, and the murders, of course. Fascinating. How so? It's rare to encounter this kind of psychopathy in the wild, as they say. The human mind really is endlessly confusing, but fascinating. I was kind of hoping she would maybe know more about the tune specifically, and if we could get more details on that, then we could connect it to other things, but... It was worth a shot. With all due respect, Ilya, I love you, but I'm not sure if you're of any use to me in this current case. But thank you for stopping by nonetheless. Vincent? Hello, Mr. Florer. Oh. Do you know the operator of the stack? Actually, no, let me get him a drink first. Yeah. Okay. Ooh. Oh. Let's see. Do you know the operator of the stack? You maybe got a little crush. Yes, and I confess I am fond of the young lady, even if she is as Rusalkan as vodka for breakfast. Is Rusalkan supposed to be Russia? I guess. Russia, Rusalka. Yeah. I used to think Rusalka was a proud nation, staunch and hardy, but I fear that no matter where people hail from these days, standards of civility and manners have gone down everywhere else in the world. Nonetheless, I adore the young lady's incessant questions about Saran culture and history. I can't imagine a better match than Ilya and I for two eager conversationalists. She never runs out of questions about Bukovi, and I... never tire of them? Quite so! She has a hunger for knowledge that cannot be sated, and I have a desire to expound on Saran culture that cannot be exhausted. In our time, I must confess, she has taught me a thing or two as well. Did you know that in Rusalka there are towns where the snow never melts? All year round, all white. Blindingly so, can you imagine? And in the north, you can witness the aurora. My wife always wanted to witness an aurora. I've only seen illustrations in books. To see it with your own eyes. I digress. But the girl Ilya, truly a delight. You know, Feng Bei and I often debate the future of Bukovi's youth. She is hopeful the youngsters will make the world better, but I have my doubts. But if we had more youngsters like Ilya, maybe we could hope for a better world for our children. I mean, children in a metaphorical sense, of course. Right. Okay. Again, like, I think Vincent is supposed to be, like, in his 50s, maybe? And I don't know how old Ilya is. I mean, she is an adult, which, you know, that's kind of... She might be a bit younger than him. As long as it's consensual, I guess. Anyway, I think that's it for the day. I want to try to make some connections on the corkboard. I need to get all Pepe Sylvia in this bitch. Okay, let's see. The setup. And... fuck, what was the thing I was going to connect it to? No. Oh, the killer's confession? No. Double homicide? Oh, there we go. 2 birds, 1 stone. Petru was already dead when Bjorn received the message from his portogram. Yes! That's what I was trying to get at. If Bjorn is telling the truth, that means his attacker was also Petru's killer. Sadly, the body can no longer be identified. We'll need another way to find the killer's identity. There was something mentioned to Hugo about talking to Peter. So we might need to do that. Well, next day it is then. Oh, he's here! Oh, my guy is here. Hey, Peter. Bartender. Peter. Let's have a nice calm chat. Okay. Let's get him a drink. Let me buy you a drink. I mean, we know his favorite drink. What sort of drinks do you like, Peter? Same as last time, of course. What, I'm not important enough for you to remember? Well, relax, Squirt. I'm yanking your chain. I like a dark rum, but nothing too rich and creamy right now. Noted. Okay. Oh, we were supposed to get him drunk. Fucking, fuckity, fuck. Fucking, fuck ass shit. Can I maybe have that back? Shit, fuck. Okay, let me load. So we need to get him drunk. So we need something that's at a 7. Something like this. I don't know if Peter would be very interested in a drink called a Drama Queen, but you know. Maybe he'll like it. I don't know. It's decently strong. Drown his sorrows and all that. Even your experiments taste alright. Alright. Here we go. So you're unemployed now. Peter looks at you through narrowed eyes. Now lubricated with alcohol, it seems he's ready to talk. His expression... Jeez, the music disappearing. So many serious conversations. His expression softens as he lets his guard down a little, becoming surprisingly somber for his usual doing. Spare me your teasing, bartender. I'm really not in the mood for it. What's the matter? There's no point beating around the bush with you, is there? You'd squeeze it out of me sooner or later anyway. She's fucking dead, Squirt. Carla's dead? Yeah. There's nothing in the papers about this. Got your finger on the pulse, eh? There hasn't been a peep because I'm keeping it that way. The days when journalists risk their lives investigating the criminal underworld are long gone. Journalists sit at their offices now drinking Joe. You're lucky if they're brave enough to poke their noses out the window. They'd rather reword Bukovi PD press releases. And any chance of exposing blue-collar shit? Forget about it. The papers are owned by the people who need to control the press and have the money to make it happen. The press is crooked? What do you think, Squirt? Yeah, I'd say the press is pretty crooked. I worked all kinds of jobs, and 1 or 2 of them were all about making sure the right folks got the right stories printed. Or the wrong folks. The right folks are the ones that pay me. The wrong folks are the dead ones. Not hard to remember. Keep it simple, bartender. That's my advice to you. And at all times, keep your nose out. Bukovi's a powder keg. As soon as news of Carla kicking the bucket gets out, it'll be bedlam. We'll have a street war on our hands. Enough folks looking to fill her shoes already. So how'd she die? Carla met a brutal end at the hands of someone you never want to meet. I could barely recognize the body. Would hate to find yours in a similar state one day. That's all. And hey, at least your debt is off now. I wasn't lying. That's good, but are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. I just never expected to outlive Carla, never mind find her body like that. She always seemed invincible, you know? 3 steps ahead. She was unpredictable, but my world is an unstable one, and she kept things quieter, like it... Don't get me emotional for Peter again. Damn it. She made it seem like no matter what happened, we had a plan for it. I've seen plenty of folks get messed up, But this was a bad scene, Squirt. I got a strong stomach, but it's different when you see someone like Carla in that state. Did she get, like, mashed up like fucking Petru did? It felt like I'd taken my first steps down the wrong road, and there's no way back. I had to take care of it before anyone else saw. Oh. I carried her out to the car in the dark and drove an hour out of the city to go dig a pit in some forgotten piss hole off the road. Had to torch my gloves along with her books after it was done. They were so soaked. Sat in the grass and smoked half a pack of Marlows before I Jesus. Even I'm shaking up. Before I could get behind the wheel again. It shook you up. Don't worry about me. Worry about the mess left behind. Goddess, who knows how bad things will get now. I need another drink. So the news about Carla's demise would change everything about your work. Put that together, did you? Yeah, her little vacation is already putting people on edge, and some folks are getting rowdy, getting some real funny ideas. Once the truth gets out, there's gonna be some serious upheaval in my world. I doubt there'll be much sitting around anymore. I need to get ahead of this. Need to sort out what I'm gonna do. You should quit. I don't know. What else am I good for? I see my mates clamber over each other to climb to the top. But not you? Maybe I'm getting too old for this. Too soft. You have been nicer recently. Yeah, well, you've grown on me. Kinda like a fungus. I suppose if someone put a contract on you now, I wouldn't even do it. I'd probably cut off someone else's finger and say it was yours. You might need to wear gloves for a while. How romantic. But I guess I am at this sort of crossroads. There's only two ways I can go. I can't see a way to split the difference. What are the two roads? The first one isn't too different from the road I'm already on, but it's gonna get real bumpy. I can see how things are getting worse on the streets. Once that obituary's in the papers, it's gonna be chaos. Do I step up, grab Carla's throne before anyone else has the chance to make a play for it? Do I try to keep up? Because if I go down that road, I'm gonna have to become the monster folk already think I am. Worse than that. No, I don't want that for him. The folks that will survive those street wars are gonna be the ones that are willing to do whatever it takes to come out on top. The survivors ain't gonna be the cleverest or the calmest ones. Are you sure? Oh, yes. This ain't the first underworld war. I've been through 5, maybe 6 if you count the distillery affair. Every time the same things happen. The worst get worse and the rest get dead. And I always chose the first option. That's why my face is so interesting looking. But there is another way? Sure, there's always another way. And? And what? Will even become an average schmo? What do you think? I become some loser? Some nobody? You're never gonna be a nobody to me, Peter. You'll never be just some loser. Look, I got friends that walked that road. Left the life and went straight. It ended badly for them, and they were smarter than me. What chance have I got? Even with Carla too dead to send her goons after me for ditching her. You can learn from their mistakes. Yeah? Say I settle down. Move out the city, start working at I don't know, a market stall. Selling cucumbers to grandmothers, making small talk with the farmers and customers. Really connecting with the common man. And one day some old man comes in and he recognizes me from my scars. He remembers how I kneecapped his nephew for missing payments on a fucking loan for a barn extension. When the old bastard turns up at my market stall with his 6 burly cousins, and I've got no weapon and my guard is down, how am I going to explain to them that I'm a changed man who has found redemption and peace before they stab me with a fucking pitchfork and throw my corpse in a grain silo? It doesn't have to be that way. I don't know, Squirt. You really think I got it in me to start over? Turn a new leaf? Goddess knows. I would have broke your legs last week if the boss asked me to. Would have felt bad about it, obviously, but I still would have done it. Knowing that, you still think someone like me deserves a chance at a regular, legitimate life? I believe you can do it, Peter. And I want to help you. Well, I'll consider it. Thanks for having some faith in me, Squirt. That means a lot. I guess you're telling me what I need to hear, and I appreciate it. Now let's change the subject before I get all mushy on you. Oh... I kind of wonder, this is one of those things that maybe I'll explore off stream maybe, or maybe like in a future playthrough that's not necessarily going to make it to YouTube, but maybe when we have some more free time to just kind of play whatever we feel like, maybe I wonder if it's possible to convince him to go for option A, you know, that he mentioned, like grabbing Carla's throne before anybody else does. I don't want to see him do that, though. I don't want my sweet baby boy to be a monster. Because he's not. I love him. Let me have a look-see here. Carla's demise. Carla's dead, having been beaten to death in her office last week. A very brutal murder. So it sounds like the same person who killed Carla killed Petru. Fascinating. Okay, we're probably gonna have to make the connection. We'll get there. We probably have some evidence we need to ask Peter about. Oh gosh, where to start? Petru was already dead when Bjorn received the message. Bjorn's telling the truth. It means his attacker was also Petru's killer. Sadly, the body can no longer be identified. Yeah, let's try that. Good idea, poor execution. Who disposes of evidence at their place of work, especially after they'd just been at the scene of another crime? You should have at least dumped the body in the river, or... Peter. Right, sorry. I'll tell you this, whoever this guy was, he knew where Bjorn worked, that he had a connection to Petru, and where Petru would be that night. This was not some amateur. Could it... I get the feeling it was maybe the person that was getting the 95% of the money that Bjorn was doing the thing with. You know. Let's see, the setup. Let's go with that. I would have bet money on the killer taking Bjorn down, but never right off a Scotian, I guess. Bjorn fucked that guy up good and proper. I've seen it before. The will to survive is just stronger in some folks than others. Can't believe Petru set him up, though. Fucking rat. He had it coming. Oh! What if the killer had Petru's thingy thing? The whatever it is, the portogram? Yeah. Petru didn't set up Bjorn. The killer, whoever he is, had the thingy and made it seem like Petru. Yeah. Oh, I'm unraveling this case. Maybe anything about this, perhaps? I should have known he was involved in all of this, the lumbering fool. You know something? Well, for once I actually do. Of course, it's because this sort of stuff's entirely crooked, but I presume that's why you asked me? Sorry. It doesn't matter. No point keeping our secrets now anyway. Your third party? It was Carla! Oh, there goes my theory. Who else could afford to bribe the goddamn treasurer Bukovi? All thanks to people like you taking out loans. Okay, you know. She was making big plays, getting ambitious. When you rule the underworld, eventually you look around and realize you're still under the people with real power. Petru was as greedy as they come. Bribing him was an easy ticket into both his cash book and his inner circle, increasing Carla's influence over local politics. Ooh. If you ask me, she was flying too close to the sun. Guys like that can't be trusted. The respectable types will always see us as garbage, no matter how high we climb. When Carla came out of the darkness, they burned her up. But who the hell ever listens to me, right? I was hired for my muscle, not my brains. Or looks. Ha! Naturally, my advice doesn't get heeded too often. Like when I advise a certain bartender not to dig into this kind of stuff. Oh gosh! He gets me real hot under the collar. I gotta beat it. Yeah, okay. Bye, Peter. So let's see. Carla's bribe. The third party whose money Bjorn had been carrying to Petru was Carla. Oh, it was the other way around. I thought... Oh, I thought... Okay. Referring money between a third party and Petru. Okay, I got the impression that Petru was the one sending Bjorn money and the 95% was going off somewhere else. But instead it was Carla sending the payments to Bjorn and he was sending the 95% to Petru. Okay. We definitely do need to combine Carla's death with whatever we have about the guy beating someone to death. Something like that. We're gonna need to do that. Okay, we'll get there. Hello, Miss Feng Bei. Let me make up for my grievances last time. I'm so sorry. Please let me fix. Delicious. You're quite a skilled mixologist. Yes, okay. Apologies for last time. That one's on the house. Maybe. Eek. Okay, let's see. Ooh, do I need to talk to John about anything? Let's see. Something strong get me through the week. I don't know what the hell he wants. Ah. Okay. Let me try again. How about this? The fucking coffee drink. I don't know. Maybe he does really like the strong ones. Those are his favorites, and I gotta give it to him, but then he'll just immediately go. Maybe that's the gist here. Okay, you know. I don't give a shit about his holiday, still. Let's see, the killer's confession. Ooh, yeah. What do you want from me? You think you can remember the voice of the person who confessed? Indulging Father Lacey with his favorite drink seems to have had an effect. Oh, it's because he's drunk! He is still shaken but willing to talk. Yes, to my eternal despair, the memory is burned into my mind. Why do you ask? Could you verify if the current suspect matches the voice you heard? You want me to meet a potential murderer face to face? Will my misfortune never end? How much more must I suffer before the goddess grows bored of my despair? We think Bjorn is innocent. We all think our loved ones are incapable of sin, but trust me, evil exists on a spectrum. None of us are free of it, and all of us are capable of great evil. For example, right now, I would commit atrocities to escape this conversation. John is not as nervous, but will need verbal encouragement and convincing to see Bjorn. You should have a proper heart-to-heart with him. Okay, I think you should meet Bjorn. And what good would come of that? Must the goddess force me to relive my most traumatizing moments? I already broke my oath of secrecy. Why would I let this dangerous man know that? You can atone for that? By helping? This could clear him. Perhaps. I broke my oath for a higher purpose. Must I really be forced into impossible choices at every turn, then punished no matter what I choose? Ugh. Do I even have a choice now? You can't blame me for fearing for my life after what I went through. It's natural to fear death, even with the promise of the eternal embrace of the goddess. As flawed humans, it is in our nature. I don't want to die just yet. Bjorn would never kill me. Oh, we all die eventually. What matters is how we live. That is true. The mother died as a human, but the life she lived beforehand was full of care and love for mankind. It is why we remember her to this day. Fine. I've given up, okay? The goddess has tested me by taking my father, and it's only been downhill from there. It was fairly downhill before that too, I suppose, so just leave me be with your misguided notions. I've had enough. So, his father died... in-game timeline? Like... said summer, it's January now, so like a year and a half ago? Maybe? Maybe that would have been... oh fuck, I don't know. Perhaps around the time of the first case, maybe? I don't know. Your community hasn't given up on you? Or the goddess hasn't given up on you? Ooh. Yep. Maybe... Because Feng Bei said she still wanted to see him. She didn't... She said something... What did she say? She said something like... She didn't want to go to another priest or something. Like, wanting to help. Your community hasn't given up on you. Yes. Perhaps. I presume you speak of Miss Bay, yes? And possibly Miss Carmine as well. Misguided in their faith as they may be at times, deep down I can sense some form of concern for me. Perhaps I've addled my brain with alcohol for too long, and I can no longer see reason. I must remember my duty is not just to listen to my flock, but to lend them my voice as well. You know, if it weren't for operating an illegal speakeasy, you'd make a fine priest, perhaps. I don't know about that. Very well, I will speak with this Bjorn and listen to his voice. If he truly isn't the killer, I will even testify in court if needed. Is this gonna be Bjorn's defense? My thanks, Father Lacey. Oh, hell yeah. So, what do we do now? Do we just, like, wait for Bjorn and Father Lacey to be in the speakeasy at the same time, maybe? I don't know. Okay, let's go ahead, skedaddle. We have some connections to make. Well, oh. Oh, this is it! After everyone else has gone home, Father Lacey takes a seat in front of you. He looks equal parts nervous and determined. I'm ready. Where is this Bjorn you wanted me to meet? You should be here soon. Just as you finish pouring Lacey a drink, the bell rings, and the sound of Bjorn's heavy footsteps echoes through the room. John swallows, trying to steady his breath. A huge figure sits down next to John, dwarfing him. Oh, he really does. Imagine if Bjorn was next to Lucas. Lucas is a very Twinkie kind of guy. He looks quizzically at the priest, then turns his attention to you. Hey there, pal. Why'd you call me over? I wanted you to meet John. John avoids eye contact, but you can see his shoulders relax as soon as he hears Bjorn speak. His fear dissipates, and in its place, relief and sympathy. Bjorn's not the guy. I heard you were going through some troubled times, so our mutual friend here believes a talk with a priest might be able to ease your mind a bit. Also, we kind of wanted to make sure you weren't a murderer. I trust you're familiar with confessions. While it's unusual to have a third-party present, rest assured that nothing you say will be disclosed outside the circle of those present here. Can't say I've ever done this confession thing before. It's not something we have in Scotia, but hey, I get the gist of it. All I do is talk? Correct. Speak to your heart's content about actions you've taken that you regret, and I will listen. Alright then, goddess, this is all a bit sudden. John winces as Bjorn takes her name in vain, but then settles again. Bjorn lets out a deep sigh and begins to speak. I did a terrible thing, not because I wanted to, but because I felt trapped and desperate. I told Lucas already, and he said I should keep quiet. But it's been bothering me, you know? Still, recent actions don't bother me nearly as much as the other thing I did. I didn't mean to, Bjorn's breathing becomes ragged. Whatever he's trying to say causes a lot of stress. For a moment, it looks like he's about to force himself to speak, but Father Lacey puts a hand on his shoulder. Let your heart be at peace, Bjorn. Being forced to kill in self-defense is not a sin. And the goddess doesn't judge you. You have been through pain, and she is with you to help you heal, not to cast blame. I'm not too sure about the meaning of any of this, but I do feel better after you said that. The goddess sounds like a kind old lass. She is. She made sure that those who have found her can reach out to those who haven't. Today that would be me, I suppose. That's mighty kind of you. I wasn't sure what to expect when my pal here called me over, but I'm glad I accepted the invitation. If you'll excuse me, I need to go home and lie down a bit. Sorry about wasting the drink. I'm afraid I've lost the taste for it. Bjorn gets up and gives a courteous nod towards Father Lacey, who gently smiles back. Then he heads out the door, leaving you alone with John. Shame about that drink, for it seems I have lost my thirst as well. Still, what matters the most here is that I can confirm the person who confessed to murdering an innocent man was not Bjorn. I couldn't detect the Scotian accent during the conversion. Need more alcohol, clear alert! I couldn't detect the Scotian accent during his confession, and there was no glee in his voice when he spoke of his sins. You believe he's innocent, then? That remains to be seen. While it's true he has shown remorse, this intense reaction usually only happens when the confession is about something deeply disturbing. Why didn't you let him finish? Despite what I said, this wasn't a true confession. It's clear he hasn't accepted what has happened, and we're in a speakeasy. Confession should be done in a church after you've had time to think about your actions. Should he wish to experience a true confession, let him know he's more than welcome in my church. I will open the booth again on Fridays. I'll do that. Yes! Fuck! As for his trial, you can count on me to provide some semblance of defense, provided that whoever told you about the whistling also appears. We have Bjorn's defense! And literally no other suspects. We're at a fucking dead end. It shouldn't be a problem. Wonderful. Now then, it is late and I have to go home. May the goddess be with you. John gets up, adjusts his clerical collar, and gives you a brief smile. As he exits the speakeasy, you can't help but grin at the unfinished drink sitting on the counter. Oh. Okay. Damn it, we did good. Oh, we did real good. Anyway, so the thing I was gonna do. Let's see. Carla's demise and double homicide, maybe? Yeah. Ooh. Bare knuckle job. Both Carla and Petru were beaten to death, killed a mere week apart. Could they have been taken out by the same killer, who has a very specific M.O.? Ooh, I feel like we're gonna need to question some people about that. And by people, I mean Peter. Oh, he's here today. Lucas and Bjorn are both here today. You shouldn't have gotten involved like that. I had to. If it means I can keep you out of jail, then I'll take that risk. Why? You're risking yourself just to help me. You know why. Oh, I love me some gays. All right, Peter. You up, babes? Let's get you a drink. Fucking tipple. Is that like... I don't know if tipple is like UK slang or if it's like old-time slang. Now I'm curious. British informal. It is from the UK. I kind of figured because there are some more UK spellings of words in here. Like, for example, certain words that here they're written with an S instead of a Z. Yeah. Okay, so I gotta ask you a very unfortunate thing. Both Carla and Petru were beaten to death. Could they have been taken out by the sim killer who has a very specific MO? Here I was, being nice, warning you to stop digging into this stuff. I suppose the best way to get you killed is to dangle any mystery in front of your eyes, as long as it's dangerous and hopeless. You know something about Petru and Carla. I know many things. Most importantly, I know the best way to avoid painful death is to keep my nose out. Bjorn's life may depend on this. Fine. Who am I to deny your death wish? Just promise me that when he's beaten the life out of you, you don't mention my name. His name is Vladimir Bros. He's a Bros? Bro. He's a hitman. A killer for the love of the game and one of the roughest Rusalka ever produced. His works send a message, and the message is usually loud. If he's a hitman, does that mean somebody hired him? I'm no saint, but even I don't have the stomach for his kind of job. This was the first time I'd seen the aftermath of one of his hits, but I'd heard the stories. He beats people to death. He spent a long time doing it, and he got real good at it. Carla wasn't the first tall poppy he's cut the head off, and she probably won't be the last. Who sent him? Peter shakes his head slowly. If I told you that, both our names end up on his next contract. In that event, I make my odds of survival out at about 50-50. Your chances would be much slimmer, Squirt. So he knows. Huh. Oh hey, we found out Bjorn didn't do the kill. I'm just literally taking any excuse to talk to Peter. Glad you've come to your senses. Johansson's a big tough fella, but he ain't got the heart for this kind of nasty business. There's an art to this line of work. I'm glad too. What? The art for murder? Excuse me? Peter. Okay. Those dusty old liquor bottles won't rearrange themselves. Okay. So we got this modus operandi. But this Vladimir guy, he's not on our suspect list yet. Maybe we need to talk to Hugo about it. Peter claims Carla and Petra's killings are the signature style of a hitman named Vladimir Broz. He warns us that Vladimir works for very powerful people but won't tell us any more. I'll need to look elsewhere if I want more information. Alright. Hey Hugo, I found a thingy. It's kind of bad. It's no name I've heard of, but considering he went after the likes of Carla, I'll admit access to his records may be above my pay grade. We should look into this. If Roz is real and not just one of Peter's inventions, the archives might have something on him. Oh, we need to go check the stack. Okay. I like that Hugo is always here. Doesn't even have like limited actions to like kind of nudge us in a certain direction. It's good for dum-dums like me who might get stuck on occasion. I appreciate that. Let's search Vladimir, I guess. Vladimir Broz was born in Rusalka and served in its military for 9 years before being honorably discharged. He went on to found a private security company called Garmer. When political tension began to flare up across Callisto, Vladimir moved the company to the Tsaran capital Bukovy, where it remains active to this day, currently employed by the Tsaran government. Vladimir's visa application is documented in the Bukovy archives alongside a copy of his Rusalkan passport. For privacy reasons, I cannot give you access to most of this information, but I can provide you with a picture. He's a big Hulk and burly blonde guy. The sex printer spits out a photo of an intimidating blonde man with a scar on his lip. All these guys got scars. At least Peter's is hot. His height is listed at an impressive 195 centimeters. Help, I'm a very stupid American. 6 feet 4.7 inches. He a tall bitch. Oh shit. That is all the information I could find. Thank you for using the stack. Rather than returning to the welcome screen, the message lingers for a while until a familiar flash and wall of green text scrolling indicate Ilya has opened a private channel. The Tsaran government, just like Petru. I am not sure what prompted you to look up this man's name, but something about this is making me wonder. Oh yeah, because Ilya's not here today. Wonder what? Ilya does not respond, but the screen flickers briefly, suggesting something has changed. Perhaps you should speak to her about this in person. Okay. How are you, Ilya? After a brief wait, the standard stack terminal prompt switches to the message screen. Sorry about that. Ensuring this conversation is off record. I've been well, thank you for asking. Have you enjoyed your time at the speakeasy so far? Certainly. When I first came to visit, I was worried there would be too much noise and too many people to feel comfortable. But Vincent told me that's precisely the reason he only informed a select few people about it. Conversations are hard to enjoy when you have to raise your voice. He certainly has an eye to keep things classy. He sure does. Do we want to look up Bjorn? Our baby Bjorn. Bjorn Johnson, born in Scotia. Not much is known about him regarding the first years after his arrival in Bukovy. He was recently arrested and released on bail by the Bukovy police as he's suspected of committing a double murder, one victim being a local politician. Oh, we should tell Hugo about his defense. Local politician being Petru Lombardo, Bukovi's treasurer. While the investigation is ongoing, other local politicians have submitted requests to the Court of Law to prioritize his trial to see justice prevail and calm frightened citizens. Yeah. The recent upsurge of interest has made news outlets dig deeper into his past. Many different sources ultimately cover the same information. Johansson works as a laborer at the local steel mill and was seen conversing with Petru Lombardo at a party that occurred right before the discovery of his body. Alright. Okay, I think we got some things to talk to Hugo about, maybe? Possibly? Let's see. We got Bjorn's defense. Yeah. I'm impressed. If not for your diligence, Bjorn's name may have never been cleared. It seems I've put my trust in the right person. But I'm afraid we're not out of the woods yet. Not by a long shot. But we've proven Bjorn is innocent. Yeah, he said we need the culprit. Petru was Bukovi's treasurer. Commissioner Aldea is out for blood, and someone will hang for this to appease our superiors. He won't accept acquittal of our sole suspect. We'll need to know who else could have killed Petru. A name and enough proof to build a case. Without that, Bjorn's life still hangs in the balance. Yeah, so about that, yeah. Vladimir Braz is a tall man from Rusalka. He was trained in the military, but now works as a private security contractor for the government. Petru also worked in the government. Ilya wonders if there's something to that. A member of government private security suspected of murdering the treasurer. I don't like the sound of this. Do you think this was an assassination? It's starting to look that way. If so, we're punching well above our weight class. The case will need to be airtight. We need a motive. Why was Petru killed? That's right, if it was a hit, I guess there would have to be a reason somebody ordered it, other than, you know, just for shits and giggles, I guess. Oh, hey, I found your man's defense. Oh, thank the goddess. You've really done it. Bjorn's innocence is proven. I'm not sure he's out of danger just yet. Really? But this proves it. Obviously, this mysterious man in the confessional was responsible, not Bjorn. The police want this case closed. They'll need another suspect. Oh, what an awful mess. I'm sorry I'm asking so much of you, my friend. It's okay. I will help Bjorn. No matter what. I'm going to help the gays. I don't know if there's anything to talk to anybody else about. Ooh. Father Lacey has confirmed Bjorn's innocence. You were wrong. You should apologize and change your way of thinking. Father Lacey really said that? Are you sure he remembered correctly? Was he truthful? He could have been feeling sorry for Bjorn, or... Vincent. Enough. Vincent sighs and looks away. Slowly, you see his desperation turn to uncertainty, and then to regret. When he meets your eyes again, you can see the shame on his face before he even speaks. I've been a fool. No, worse than that. I've been cruel and judgmental to a man that deserves better. A gentle, hard-working man that's made Lucas very happy. Every day, the sorrow I grew up in drifts just a bit further out of my reach. And so, too, do my memories of Flora. Every day I get a bit older, and the world becomes darker, more confusing, more foreign to me. It's leaving me behind. Sometimes I feel like I should be with her already. Wait a minute. I'm not prepared for this. It seems casting my gaze backwards towards the past hasn't helped me adapt to the modern world. It's only made me bitter and narrow-minded. Flora would want me to have a future where I find a place for myself. Not this more abundity I inhabit. I should have offered Bjorn my support, but instead I judged him for his nationality, ethnicity, and social class. I failed a man when he needed someone with my privilege and influence to protect him. Yes! So exceedingly yes! I am ashamed to admit that this is the second time I have made that mistake. The second time? There's no point in hiding it from you. You're clever enough. You've no doubt figured out that this venture of ours wasn't the first incarnation of the Nightcap. Yeah? There was another venture, another speakeasy. It didn't end well for anyone. I broke a promise to save my own skin. and someone else took the fall. I did not cover myself in glory. I had a chance to stand shoulder to shoulder with someone who needed me, and I let them down. He's talking about the bartender from the first case. I have regrets. I understand why you did it, even if it was wrong. Thank you, bartender, for making me come to my senses. You really are the angel perched on my shoulder. I realize now that it'll be hard-working foreigners like Bjorn, like Ilya, that'll likely carry the torch for Bukovi's future. Not grumbling old fossils like me. All I can do is offer my guidance, and in Bjorn's case, my deepest apologies. Oh, Vincent, I'm so glad you came around. I really didn't want to hate you. Go make amends. Okay. Wow, I'm so glad we did that. Because that's like, I feel like that's one of those, like, we didn't get a clue or anything from that. I'm not sure that conversation really has anything to do necessarily with the case. But it's like, it helps, you know? It's good. Anyway, hey Bjorn. Oh, I need to get you a drink because I can't let that affection level sit where it is. Pardon me a moment. Before I tell you that we found your innocence and your alibi, your actual alibi in defense, let me pour you a drink first. We'll say it's to celebrate. How about that? Okay. Yeah. Okay, so we got that. For all Father Lacey knew, I could have been some madman. He just had a murderer in his confessional. His nerves must be in tatters, but he still agreed to meet me. He didn't need to say anything, but he still offered me a kind listening ear. Me, a stranger that didn't even belong to his flock. He had plenty of reason to fear me. The father did me a great kindness. I only hope I can repay him one day. Yeah. Okay, we need to wait for Ilya. I really don't. I don't think we're gonna get any other suspects. I'm gonna be so for real. It really seems fairly confidently this Vladimir dude. Which is odd because usually we have, you know, 4 suspects. Please be here, Ilya. Please. Oh, she is here, thank balls. And Pete is here. I'll get to you in just a second, sweetheart. Evening again, barkeep. Okay. Ooh, yeah, let's get her a drink first. Oh, the mint punch still isn't her favorite. Oh, it's the ambush. Okay, right. Okay. So, did you learn something else about Vladimir? I did, and I didn't know what to do with the information. Mr. Florer noticed something was bothering me when I visited his bookshop earlier, and I confided in him. Can you tell me? I am not sure. You are friendly and kind, but I'm not looking for kindness. I need protection. This is sensitive information, and I don't want to end up like Petru. That's so fair. What if Vincent vouched for me? Ilya tilts her head slightly, pondering what you just said. Then she nods. I think that might work. I'll ask him later to see what he thinks about all this. And you. Keep the lights on for us when you close up for the night. We'll come visit together. I don't want to risk anyone overhearing us. Okay, so I presume this is going to be a similar situation to what we did with John and Bjorn. I mean, I'm pretty sure Vincent can vouch for me. Ooh. Yeah, we needed higher affection with Ilya. And we're at, like, past the 3rd level of affection with Vincent, I'm pretty sure. So, you know, I think we're good there. Hey, Peter. Do I need to serve him? Probably not. However, considering that, you know, we keep our affection level, like, rolls over into the next case, I want to make sure my relationship with Peter is at the tippy top, as high as it can go. Ooh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Nothing new to talk about, unfortunately. Okay, I have business to attend to. I hate that he sits by the stairs looking all sad all the time. Oh my god. Alright, let's go ahead and end the day. Ooh. After seeing off the last guest for the evening, you keep the lights on, expecting Ilya and Vincent to arrive a few minutes later. Sure enough, the bell rings and the pair walks down the stairs to take a seat at the bar. Well, 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 bartender, I'm glad you're already well acquainted with a brilliant mind like Ilya's. You flatter me, Mr. Florer, though I must admit I visit for the comprehensive nature of this literary collection, both at the archives and in your bookshop. And humble to boot. Now then, I presume this is about something serious. Do you recall our previous conversation 3 days prior at 2:15 p.m. about government spending? Yes. There's a lot at stake here, and I'd hate to see one of the last erudite citizens of Bukovy end up in trouble because they're too well informed. The bartender seems to be interested in the topic as well, but naturally I felt uncomfortable sharing it on the spot. That's why I asked you. I see. All I have to say is this, Ilya. I keep wanting to say Illy. Like Illy animation. Illymation. Oh gosh. Bukovy and all of Sara is currently stuck in a downward spiral. This country, once a bastion of culture and class, is slowly turning into a pit of corruption and fear. Fear breeds corruption, and corruption breeds fear. The only way to break this cycle is to overcome the fear, so the corrupt cannot thrive. I have little faith in the constabulary, but even I have to admit that people like Hugo Mertens might be one of the few left trying to fight for what is right. Correct me if I'm wrong, bartender, but I trust you've seen this as well. You and Hugo have been working closely together for the past few months. I trust him with my life. Sure. That's a bit much. But I'm glad to see you two managed to establish a repartee when your interests aligned. Having one detective on our side whose moral compass hasn't shattered into pieces might not sound like much, but armed with enough information, we might be able to make the city a better place. What I'm trying to say is, both of us are here for you, Ilya, and Hugo too. I can tell from our talks you truly love this country and its history. The best way to preserve it is to be brave and fight for it by doing the right thing. Ilya's breathing has accelerated during Vincent's speech, but her expression is steadfast. She looks you in the eye. Very well. You want to know more about Vladimir Braz, correct? Yes. The archives mention his private security company Garmer pulling out of Rusalka after rumors of war began to arise across Callisto. Immediately after Vladimir moved to Bukovy, the Saran government became a client. There has always been political tension between Sara and Rusalka, so I found this development rather peculiar. I began looking into the matter further. I quickly stumbled upon a major barrier. Most of Garmer's records are kept in a highly confidential section of the archives to which Silas Tech was not granted access. I had a hunch and decided to sneak inside after hours. Ooh, Ilya, bad girl. Sure enough, my instinct was correct. Our city council is indeed one of Garmer's employers, but their records were unusual, to say the least. Rather than any sort of continuous security service, they listed only specific deployments. Short-term contracts filled with cryptic coded language. Most chilling was the last, which included a piece of correspondence. The individual has been dealing with Carla for some time now. Both are considered intractable problems. Please let Vladimir solve them. This has nothing to do with security, does it? Vladimir's a hitman. A murder for hire employed by our government? By the goddess, that just proves it. It seems this information is vital in your current investigation, wouldn't you say, bartender? Extremely. Then it seems I did the right thing, both by digging deeper and by bringing it to your attention. As for our end of the bargain, make sure to watch out the moment you feel uneasy or threatened. I will do anything in my power to ensure your protection, even if it means the end of my bar and my shop. What about me? I appreciate that. So far, nobody has noticed I slipped into the restricted section. Still, doesn't hurt to be careful. We need to be wary that we do not paint a target on our backs if we haven't already. Precisely. Now then, I think we should all get some proper rest so we can face another day in Bukovy with a fresh and healthy mind. The two get up from their stools and head toward the exit. Vincent laughs jovially jovially at Ilya's warning to ascend the stairs carefully. What the hell do I do with this? Government secrets. A message Ilya obtained states that he had become a liability because of his dealings with Carla. Do I need to connect that with a double homicide? Oh. Wait. Just a ding-dong second. Double homicide. Government secrets. Oh, come on! Maybe... Where's profile? Ooh! Two birds, one stone? I gotta connect this to something. Carla's bribe? Oh. Petru had been accepting bribes from Carla, which made him a liability that needed to be dealt with in the eyes of his superiors. Vladimir Broz was sent to do just that. So, the fucking government sent out a hitman on one of their own. Damn, no wonder Peter didn't want to tell us. Oh, fuck. Okay. So... I mean, this is it. Is it not? I mean, this is definitely a shorter case than some of the others, I think, but I don't think there's anything else left to uncover. I think we kind of got it, right? I think. Maybe? Ooh, conversation. Clara and Maria sit opposite one another, the two of them chatting politely over drinks. You didn't realize they were close. It's been a few months since Alina passed, right? I guess you don't want to talk about it, but also, maybe you do, and I'm acting like it didn't happen? What I'm trying to say, damn it, maybe I'm saying I'm a good listener. It's okay, Claire, I'm doing better. Now, let's go back to how you lost last time. Queen's Gambit. Right, I was being too aggressive again. I know, but you really don't give me much of a chance. I've never been able to go easy on anyone. Your positional play wasn't all bad. I was probably worse when I started. You started when you were what, 10? I got beaten by a 10-year-old this year. I'm not normally a sore loser, but he was so smug too. Can I confess something? I felt like stealing his pocket money and telling him he was adopted. Oh shit! Maria! Do you still bring a chessboard everywhere? A small one, and yes, I read a lot of theory books. When I'm out and without a board, I struggle to remember any of it. It's building muscle memory, like in combat. You don't really know how to block a punch till you've done it a few times. Sure. Did you want to play a game? I still remember some of the stuff you taught me. As long as you learn a proper opening. I can do that, I think. Oh, they're so cute. Alright, Hugo, I feel like we gotta submit. So have you found anything that helps Bjorn walk away from all this as a free man? Here's everything I found. Firstly, I do not want any surprises thrown in my face when I bring this case to my superiors, understood? If you found anything that makes Bjorn look worse, I need to know about it. Did you find any evidence proving he could have committed the crime? No. I just don't think he had the means. Bjorn was seen at Hotel Jubilee on the night of the murder, bartender. And remember, Petru was beaten to death. Even if he claims to dislike violence, he has no lack of physical strength. What? I know we left the evidence thingy empty. Oh, we didn't find any. Did we miss a connection somewhere? I hope you haven't missed any damning evidence that may throw his defense into question if brought up in court. We need to consider the motive next. I can't imagine the prosecutor will have much to go on, but public sentiment has a tendency to bridge that gap and sway the judge anyway. Did you find anything that may be used against us? Any motive Bjorn may have had? Bjorn unknowingly acted as Petru's mule. So Bjorn was involved in Petru's money laundering scheme. Unfortunately, incriminating Petru does little to help Bjorn. The only positive here is that Bjorn is on trial for murder, not fraud, so this likely won't be used against him, at least. Unless it is somehow related. The money stopped coming. Petru was angry when Bjorn asked him about it at the party. I see. So there was an argument about money, in public no less. I've little doubt other parties would find out about this. We need to explain this before the prosecutor can do it for us. Which brings me to my last question. What could possibly prove Bjorn's innocence? Father Lacey is willing to testify. Lacey spoke to Petru's killer during confession and can confirm that his voice doesn't match Bjorn's. Though the seal of confession is meant to be absolute, the laws of Sara supersede the laws of any church. If the father is willing to prioritize Lady Justice over his goddess, that's his right, especially if it helps solve a murder. Will Clara appear as well? Absolutely. She was a primary witness after all, but how is this related to Father Lacey again? It will involve whistling. Right. They can both testify to hearing the same song being whistled, proving that the killer in the confessional booth was the one leaving Petru's room. That just might work. We'd never... We never got anything about the whistling. Because we saw in the opening scene that Bjorn, I guess supposedly Bjorn, while he was burning Vladimir's body, was also whistling. Would that have been the evidence? Did we actually miss something? Okay. Alright, that's everything I needed regarding Bjorn. Are you sure about all this, or would you rather take it from the top? Let's keep going. Assuming Bjorn is truly innocent, who is our real culprit? A hitman named Vladimir Braz. A hired killer. Do you have any leads on where to find him? Time is of the essence if we are to make an arrest. He is the man inside the furnace. I don't know why, I don't know why I completely forgot that Vladimir is already dead. Like, I knew that, but for some reason my brain just kind of like short-circuited on that a little bit. Whoops. A Rusalkan hitman killed by Bjorn in self-defense. But why would he have been after both Petru and Bjorn? Corrupt officials wanted to tie up loose ends. So you believe our government killed one of its own? You explain the role Bjorn played in Petru and Carla's dealings, as well as Vladimir's orders to solve the problem. This is all deeply unsettling, but I will tell you one thing, bartender. Evidence like this is exactly what we need if we want to clear Bjorn's name. While we can't go directly after the real culprits holding Vladimir's leash... Why? Exposing their contractors' involvement to the public will force their hand. The charges will likely be dropped to prevent any further investigation. Still, this will only work if our defense for Bjorn is rock solid. If it isn't, he remains a convenient scapegoat. Do we need the evidence against him? I saved before this. Just in case. I promise I will do everything in my power to ensure justice prevails. Thank you, Detective. For what it's worth, I'm confident you did everything you could. I'll take it from here, partner. Partner. Don't have a hat to tip, but I'm tipping my hat. Okay, well, everybody out. Let's see how much I fucked up. Hopefully didn't. Oh gosh. I don't know how else to get the evidence for Bjorn. He sighs and his expression turns sour. Oh god, you begin to fear for the worst, but then a playful grin appears on his face, perhaps for the first time ever. You motherfucker. Detective, did you just pull a bait and switch on me? Apologies, it was... Oh my god. Apologies, it was too tempting. Rest assured, Bjorn is off the hook for murder. He's still in some hot water for the money laundering, but he'll likely get off with a fine, and I'm sure Lucas will be happy to help him pay. The evidence and assertions you provided undermine their shaky case. It seems like whoever was pulling the strings caught wind of your efforts. The murder case will be marked as unresolved, which is probably the best we could have hoped for. Bjorn won't go to jail as a scapegoat, at least. Still, it goes to show that the most vile criminals aren't found in the streets. If anything, they sit on comfortable chairs funded by taxpayers. There will be fallout from all of this, of that I am sure. I'm not sure where the future will take us next, my friend, but wherever it is, I'm glad to have you by my side. Hell yeah. Oh, we did it! Holy fuck. We still missed a clue? It was Probably the evidence against Bjorn. Oh, well. Highest affection, Peter. Oh, well. Don't mind if I do. Anyway, so who killed Peter? Who killed Peter? Oh God, I hope not. If Peter is the next victim,
oh my God, there will be real blood to pay.
Anyway, sorry, I got a little something caught in my throat. Anyway, who killed Petru? Vladimir Broz. What was their motive? Plugging the leak. What proves them guilty? Modus operandi. Dope. Hitman Vladimir Broz kills Petru Lombardo, dies and botched second hit. Bjorn Johnson, 37, killed assailant in self-defense. Hell yeah. Alright, say.